The tragedy of Antony and Cleopatra. Actus primus, scona prima. Enter Demetrius and Philo. Philo, nay, but this dotage of our generals. O'erflows the measure, those his goodly eyes, that array the files and musters of the war. Ha glowed like plated Mars. Now bend, now turn. The office and duotion of their view. Chapter 5, Pawn a tawny front, his captain's heart, which in the scuffles of great fights hath burst. The buckles on his breast reneges all temper, and is become the bellows and the fan, to cool a gypsy's lust. Flourish, enter Antony, Cleopatra, her ladies, the train, with eunuchs fanning her. Chapter 50, Ook where they come. Take but good note, and you shall see in him the triple pillar of the world, transformed. Chapter 1, Antio a strumpet's fool, behold and see. Chapter 150, Eo, if it be low indeed, tell me how much. Ant, there's beggary in the low that can be reckoned. Chapter 150, Eo, I'll set a born how far to be belued. Ant, then must thou needs find out new Hoen. New earth. Enter a messenger. Chapter 1000, Ease, news my good lord from Rome. Ant, grates me the sum. Chapter 150, Eo, nay hear them Antony. Philuia perchance is angry, or who knows. Chapter 1, F the scar-bearded Caesar ha not sent his powerful mandate to you, do this or this. Take in that kingdom, and enfranchise that. Performed, or else we damn thee. Ant, how my low. Chapter 150, Eo, perchance, nay and most like. You must not stay here longer, your dismission. Chapter 1, S come from Caesar, therefore here at Antony. Where's Philuia's process? Caesar's, I would say, both. Chapter 100, all in the messengers, as I am Egypt's queen. Thou blushest, Antony, and that blood of thine. Chapter 1, as Caesar's homager, else so thy cheek pays shame. When shrill-tongued Philuia scolds, the messengers. Ant, let Rome and Tiber melt, and the wide arch of the reigned empire fall, here is my space. Kingdoms are clay, our dungy earth alike. Feeds beast as man, the nobleness of life. Chapter 1, S to do thus, when such a mutual pair, and such a twain can do't, in which I bind. One pain of punishment, the world to weet. We stand VP perilous. Chapter 150, Eo, excellent falsehood. Why did he marry Philuia, and not low her? Chapter 49, E seem the fool I am not, Antony will be himself. Ant, but stirred by Cleopatra. Now for the low of low, and her soft hours. Chapter 50, Et's not confound the time with conference harsh. There's not a minute of our leaves should stretch without some pleasure now, what sport tonight? Chapter 150, Eo, hear the ambassadors. Ant, fie wrangling queen, whom Uri thing becomes, to chide, to laugh, to weep, who Uri passion fully strews, to make itself in thee fair and admired. No messenger but thine, and all alone tonight. We'll wander through the streets, and note the qualities of people. Come, my queen. Chapter 50, As night you did desire it, speak not to verses. Exeunt with the train. Chapter 500, M, is Caesar with Anthonius prised so slight? Philo, sir, sometimes when he is not Antony, he comes too short of that great property, which still should go with Antony. Chapter 500, M, I am full sorry that he approuse the common liar who thus speaks of him at Rome, but I will hope of better deeds tomorrow. Rest you happy. Exeunt. Enter Anabarbus, Lamprius, a Southseer, Ranius, Lucilius. Chapter 100, Harmian. Chapter 1, Raz, Mardian the eunuch, and Alexas. Chapter 100, Har. Alexas, sweet Alexas, most anything Alexas, almost most absolute Alexas, Where's the soothsayer that you praised so toth, queen? Oh, that I knew this husband, which you say, must change his horns with garlands. Alex, soothsayer. Sooth, your will. Chapter 100. Har, is this the man? Ist you, sir, that know things? Sooth, in nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little I. Chapter 100. And read. Alex, show him your hand. Enob, bring in the banquet quickly, wine enough. Chapter 150. Cleopatra's health to drink. Chapter 100. Har, good sir, give me good fortune. Sooth, I make not but foresee. Chapter 100. Har, pray then foresee me one. Sooth, you shall be yet far fairer than you are. Chapter 100. Har, he means in flesh. Chapter 1. Raz, no, you shall paint when you are old. Chapter 100. Har, wrinkles forbid. Alex, vex not his prescience, be attend to you. Chapter 100. Har, hush. Sooth, you shall be more belowing than belowed. Chapter 100. Har, I had rather heat my lewer with drinking. Alex, nay, hear him. Chapter 100. Har, good now some excellent fortune. Let me be married to 3 kings in a forenoon and widow them all. Let me ha a child at 50, to whom Hierode of Uri may do homage. Find me to marry me with Octavius Caesar, and companion me with my mistress. Sooth, you shall outlive the lady whom you sorrow. Chapter 100. Har, oh excellent, I allow long life better than figs. Sooth, you ha seen and proud a fairer former fortune than that which is to approach. Chapter 100. Har, then belike my children shall ha no names. Prithee, how many boys and wenches must I ha? Sooth, if Uri of your wishes had a wam and foretell. Uri wish, 1,000,000. Chapter 100. Har, outfool I forge you thee for a witch. Alex, you think none but your sheets are prewy to your wishes. Chapter 100. Har, nay come tell Era's hers. Alex, we'll know all our fortunes. Enob, mine and most of our fortunes tonight shall be drunk to bed. Chapter 1. Raz, there's a pommy presages chastity if nothing else. Chapter 100. Har, N as the Uri-flowing Nilus presageth famine. Chapter 1. Raz, go you wild a bedfellow you cannot sooths. Chapter 100. Har, nay, if an oily pommy be not a fruitful prognostication, I cannot scratch mine ear. Prithee tell her but a worky day fortune. Sooth, your fortunes are alike. Chapter 1. Raz, but how give you me particulars? Sooth, I ha said. Chapter 1. Raz, am I not an inch of fortune better than she? Chapter 100. Har, well, if you were but an inch of fortune better. Then where would you choose it? Chapter 1. Raz, not in my husband's nose. Chapter 100. Har, are worser thoughts Hohen's mend. Alexas, come, his fortune, his fortune. Oh, let him marry a woman that cannot go, sweet Isis, I beseech thee, and let her die too, and giu him a worse, and let worse follow worse, till the worst of all follow him laughing to his graw, 50-fold a cuckold. Good Isis, hear me this prayer, though thou denny me a matter of more weight. Good Isis, I beseech thee. Chapter 1. Raz, Amen, dear goddess, hear that prayer of the people. For, as it is a heart-breaking to see a handsome man loose-wewed, so it is a deadly sorrow to behold a foul Navieng cuckolded. Therefore, dear Isis, keep decorum, and fortune him accordingly. Chapter 100. Har, Amen. Alex, lo now, if it lay in their hands to make Mia. Chapter 100. Uckled, they would make themselves whores, but they'll do't. Enter Cleopatra. Enob, hush, here comes Antony. Chapter 100. Har, not he the queen. Chapter 150. Io, saw you my lord. Enob, no lady. Chapter 150. Io, was he not here? Chapter 100. Har, no madam. Chapter 150. Io, he was disposed to mirth but on the sodding. A roaming thought hath struck him. Enobarbus. Enob, madam. Chapter 150. Io, seek him and bring him hither, wers Alexia's. Alex, here at your service. Chapter 1000. Why Lord approaches. Enter Antony, with a messenger. Chapter 150. Io, we will not look upon him. Go with verses. Exeunt. Chapter 1000. Essen, Philuia thy wife. First came into the field. Ant, against my brother Lucius. Chapter 1000. Essen, but soon that war had end. And the times state. Chapter 1000. A deaf friends of them, ointing their force gainst Caesar. Whose better issue in the war from Italy. Chapter 5. Upon the first encounter draw them. Ant, well, what worst. Chapter 1000. The nature of bad news infects the teller. Ant, when it concerns the fool or coward, on. Things that are past are done with me, tease thus. Who tells me true, though in his tale lie death. Chapter 1. Hear him as he flattered. Chapter 1000. Ease, Labianus, this is stiff news. Hath with his Parthian force extended Asia, from Euphrates his conquering. Banner shook, from Syria to Lydia. Antigonia, whilst. Ant, Antony thou wouldst he say. Chapter 1000. Ease, O my lord. Ant, speak to me home. Chapter 1001. Nce not the general tongue, name. Chapter 150. Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. Rail thou in Philuia's phrase, and taunt my faults. With such full license, as both truth and malice. Ha power to VT ter, oh then we bring forth weeds. When our quick winds lie still, and our ills told verses. Chapter 1. S is our earring, fare thee well a while. Chapter 1000. Ease, at your noble pleasure. Exit messenger. Enter another messenger. Ant, from Sicyon how the news, speak there. One Mies, the man from Sicyon. Chapter 1. There's such an one. 2 Mies, he stays vpon your will. Ant, let him appear. These strong Egyptian fetters I must break, or loose myself in dotage. Enter another messenger, with a letter. What are you? 3 Mies, Philuia thy wife is dead. Ant, where died she? Chapter 1000. Ease, in Sicyon her length of sickness. With what else more serious? Chapter 999. Porteth thee to know this bears. Anso, forbear me. There's a great spirit gone, thus did I desire it. What our contempts doth often hurl from verses. We wish it ours again, the present pleasure. By relution luring, does become the opposite of itself, she's good being gone. The hand could pluck her baccy, that shoot her on. Chapter 1. Must from this enchanting queen break off 10,000 harms, more than the ills I know. Chapter 1000. Why idleness doth hatch. Enter Enobarbus. How now, Enobarbus? Eno, what's your pleasure, sir? Anth, I must with haste from hence. Eno, why then we kill all our women? We see how mortal and vieng kindness is to them, if they suffer our departure death's the word. Ant, I must be gone. Eno, viender a compelling an occasion, let women die. It were pity to cast them away for nothing, though between them and a great cause they should be esteemed nothing. Cleopatra catching but the least noise of this, dies instantly. I ha seen her die 20 times vp pon far poorer moment. I do think there is metal in death, which commits some lowing acti vpon her, she hath such a celerity in dying. Ant, she is cunning past man's thought. Eno, alacky sir no, her passions are made of nothing but the finest part of pure low. We cannot cal her winds and waters, sighs and tears. They are greater storms and tempests than almanacs can report. This cannot be cunning in her. If it be, she makes a shower of rain as well as Iao. Ant would I had newer seen her. Eno, oh sir, you had then left VN seen a wonderful piece of work, which not to ha been blessed withal, would ha discredited your trial. Aunt, Philuia is dead. Eno, sir. Aunt, Philuia is dead. Eno, Philuia. Aunt, dead. Eno, why, sir, do you the gods a thankful sacrifice? When it pleaseth their deities to take the wife of a man from him, it shows to man the tailors of the earth, comforting therein that when oldie robes are worn out, there are members to make new. If there were no more women but Philuia, then had you indeed a cut, and the case to be lamented. This grief is crowned with consolation. Your old smock brings forth a new petticoat, and indeed the tears lee you in an onion, that should water this sorrow. Aunt, the business she hath broached in the state. Chapter 100. Annot endure my absence. Eno, and the business you ha broached here cannot be without you, especially that of Cleopatra's, which wholly depends on your abode. Aunt, no more light answers. Chapter 50. At our officers. Ha, notice what we purpose. I shall break the cause of our expedience to the queen, and get her low to part, for not alone. The death of Philuia, with more argent touches. Chapter 500. Oh, strongly speak to these, but the letters too. Of many our contrauing friends in Rome. Petition versus at home, Sextus Pompeius. Ha, you in the dare to Caesar, and commands. The empire of the sea, our slippery people, whose low is newer linked to the deserwer. Till his deserts are past, begin to throw Pompey the Great, and all his dignities. Chapter 5. Pon his son, who high in name and power, higher than both in blood and life, stands VP. For the main soldier, whose quality going on, the sides oath world may danger, much is breeding, which like the courser's air, hath yet but life, and not a serpent's poison, say our pleasure, to such whose places viender v's require our quick remow from hence. Enob, I shall do't. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Alexis, and Eras. Chapter 150. Io, where is he? Chapter 100. Har, I did not see him since. Chapter 150. Io, see where he is. Who's with him, what he does. Chapter 1. Did not send you, if you find him sad. Say I am dancing, if in meeth report that I am sodding sick, quick and return. Chapter 100. Har, madam, methinks if you did low him dearly, you do not hold the method to enforce the like from him. Chapter 150. Io, what should I do not. Chapter 100. H in each thing you him way, cross him in nothing. Chapter 150. Io, thou teachest like a fool the way to lose him. Chapter 100. Har, tempt him not so too far, I wish forbear. Chapter 1. In time we hate that which we often fear. Enter Antony. But here comes Antony. Chapter 150. Io, I am sick and sullen. N, I am sorry to you breathing to my purpose. Chapter 150. Io, help me away, dear Charmian, I shall fall. Chapter 1. T cannot be thus long, the sides of nature will not sustain it. Aunt, now my dearest queen. Chapter 150. Io, pray you stand farther from me. Aunt, what's the matter? Chapter 150. Io, I know by that same eye there's some good news. What says the married woman you may go? Would she had newer when you low to come? Chapter 50. At her not say tease I that keep you here. Chapter 1. Ha no power vipon you, hers you are. Aunt, the gods best know. Chapter 150. Io, O newer was their queen, so mightily betrayed, yet at the first. Chapter 1. Saw the treasons planted. Aunt, Cleopatra. Chapter 150. Io, why should I think you can be mine and true, though you in swearing shake the throned gods, who ha been false to Philuia? Riotous madness, to be entangled with those mouth-made vows, which break themselves in swearing. Aunt, most sweet queen. Chapter 150. Io, Nay, pray you seek no colour for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words, no going then. Eternity was in our lips and eyes, bliss in our brows bent, none our parts so poor. But was a race of Hoen, they are so still. Or thou the greatest soldier of the world? Art turned the greatest liar. Ant, how now, lady? Chapter 150. Eo, I would I had thy inches, thou shouldst know. There were a heart in Egypt. Ant, hear me, queen. The strong necessity of time commands. Our Ceres is a while, but my full heart remains in VSC with you, our Italy. Shines a re with Sewell swords, Sextus Pompeius. Chapter 1000. Aches his approaches to the port of Rome. Equality of two domestic powers. Breeds scrupulous faction, the hated grown to strength. Are newly grown to Lao, the condemned Pompey. Rich in his father's honor, creeps apace. Chapter 1. Intio the hearts of such as ha not threeud. Chapter 5. Upon the present state whose numbers threaten, and quietness grown sick of rest, would purge. By any desperate change, my more particular, and that which most with you should safe my going. Chapter 1. Esphuluia's death. Chapter 150. Eo, though age from folly could not giu me freedom. Chapter 1. T does from childishness, can Fuluia die? Ant, she's dead, my queen. Chapter 50. Ook here, and at thy sour rainy leisure read. The garbles she awacked, at the last best. See when, and where she died. Chapter 150. Eo, O most false Lao. Where be the sacred vials thou shouldst fill? With sorrowful water, now I see. Chapter 1. En Fuluia's death, how mine received shall be. Ant, quarrel no more, but be prepared to know the purposes I bear, which are or cease. As you shall guth aduus, by the fire that quickens Nilus slime, I go from hence. Thy soldier, Saruent making peace or war. As thou affects. Chapter 150. Eo, cut my lace, Charmian come. But let it be, I am quickly ill and well. So Antony lows. Ant, my precious queen forbear. And giu true uidence to his Lao, which stands an honorable trial. Chapter 150. Eo, so Fuluia told me. Chapter 1. Prithee turn aside and weep for her. Then bid aid you to me, and say the tears belong to Egypt. Good, now play one scene of excellent dissembling, and let it look. Chapter 51. Key perfect honor. Ant, heat my blood no more. Chapter 150. Eo, you can do better yet, but this is meetly. Ant, now by sword. Chapter 150. Eo, and target, still he mends. But this is not the best. Look, prithee, Charmian, how this Herculean Roman does become the carriage of his chafe. Ant, I'll low you, lady. Chapter 150. Eo, courteous lord, one word. Sir, you and I must part, but that's not it. Sir, you and I hallooed, but there's not it. That you know well, something it is I would. Oh, my oblivion is a very Antony. And I am all forgotten. Ant, but that your royalty holds idleness your subject, I should take you for idleness itself. Chapter 150. Eo, 'tis sweating labor to bear such idleness so near the heart. As Cleopatra this, but sir, forgive you me, since my becomings kill me, when they do not. I well to you, your honor calls you hence. Therefore be deaf to my vien-pitted folly. And all the gods go with you, vipon your sword. Sit laurel victory, and smooth success be strewed before your feet. Ant, let these go. Chapter 100. Our separation so abides and flies, that thou residing here, goes yet with me. And I hence fleeting, here remain with thee. Away. Exeunt. Enter Octavius reading a letter, Lepidus, and their train. Chapter 100. As you may see Lepidus and henceforth know. Chapter 1. Tea is not Caesar's natural vice to hate. One great competitor, from Alexandria. This is the news. He fishes, drinks, and wastes. The lamps of night in Ruel is not more manlike than Cleopatra, nor the queen of Ptolemy. Chapter 1000. Or womanly than he, hardly gaw audience. Or vouchsafe to think he had partners, you shall find there a man, who is abstracts of all faults, that all men follow. Chapter 50. I must not think. There are, Ewell's Eno to darken all his goodness. His faults in him seem as the spots of Hoenn. Chapter 1000. Or fury by night's blackness, hereditary. Rather than purchased, what he cannot change, than what he chooses. Chapter 100. Eyes you are too indulgent, let's gron it is not amiss to tumble on the bed of Ptolemy. To Geo a kingdom for a mirth, to sit and keep the turn of tippling with a slaw. To reel the streets at no one, and stand the buffet. With nose that smells of sweat, say this becomes him. As his composure must be rare indeed. Whom these things cannot blemish, yet must Antony no way excuse his foils, when we do bear so great weight in his lightness, if he filled his vacancy with his voluptuousness, full surfeits, and the dryness of his bones. Chapter 100. All on him fort, but to confound such time that drums him from his sport, and speaks as load as his own state, and ours 'tis to be chid. As we rate boys, who being mature in knowledge, pawn their experience to their present pleasure, and so rebel to judgment. Enter a messenger. Chapter 50. Here's more news. Chapter 1000. Ease, thy biddings ha been done, and euery hour. Chapter 1000. Us noble Caesar shalt thou ha report. How 'tis abroad, Pompey is strong at sea. And it appears, he is belood of those that only ha feared Caesar, to the ports. The discontents repair, and men's reports geo him much wronged. Chapter 100. Eyes I should ha known no less. Chapter 1. T hath been taught verses from the primal state, that he which is was wished, until he were. And the ebbed man near lewd, till near worth low. Chapter 100. Ohms feared by being lacked, this common bodie. Chapter 51. Key to a vagabond flag vpon the stream. Goes to, and backy, lacking the varying tide. To rot itself with motion. Chapter 1000. Ease, Caesar I bring thee word. Chapter 1000. Anacrates and Mina's famous pirates. Chapter 1000. Aches the sea them which they ear and wound. With keels of ewery kind, many hot inroads they make in Italy, the borders maritime. Chapter 50. Aki blood to think on't and flush youth ruled. No vessel can peep forth, but tease as soon taken as seen, for Pompey's name strikes more. Then could his war resisted. Chapter 100. Esar, Antony. Chapter 50. O thy lascivious vassals, when thou once was beaten from Medina, where thou slewst Hircius and Pansa consuls at thy heel. Chapter 999. Famine follow, whom thou fought'st against. Though dainly brought VP, with patience more than soiges could suffer, thou didst drink the stale of horses, and the gilded puddle, which beasts would cough at, thy palate the did deign. The roughest berry, on the rudest hedge. Yea, like the stag, when snow the pasture sheets. The barks of trees thou browsed, on the Alps. Chapter 1. T is reported thou didst eat strange flesh, which some did die to look on, and all this. It wounds thine honor that I speak it now. Was born so like a soldier, that thy cheek so much as lanked not. Chapter 50. T's pity of him. Chapter 100. eyes let his shames quickly. Chapter 500. Renew him to Rome, tease time we twain. Chapter 999. Show our cellus ith field, and to that end. Assemble me immediate council, Pompey. 3 use in our idleness. Chapter 50. Tomorrow Caesar. Chapter 1. Shall be furnished to inform you rightly. Both what by sea and land I can be able to front this present time. Chapter 100. Eyes till which encounter it is my busanes too. Farewell. Chapter 50. Farewell, my lord, what you shall know meantime. Of stir as abroad, I shall beseech you, sir, to let me be partaker. Chapter 100. Isar, doubt not, sir, I knew it for my bond. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Eras, and Mardian. Chapter 150. Io, Charmian. Chapter 100. Har, Madam. Chapter 150. Io, ha ha, giu me to drink mandragora. Chapter 100. Har, why madam? Chapter 150. Io, that I might sleep out this great gap of time. Chapter 1000. Why Antony is away. Chapter 100. Har, you think of him too much. Chapter 150. Io, oh, 'tis treason. Chapter 100. Har, madam, I trust not so. Chapter 150. Io, thou eunuch Mardian. Chapter 1000. What's your highness' pleasure? Chapter 150. Io, not now to hear thee sing, I take no pleasure. Chapter 1. En auden eunuch hawes, 'tis well for thee. That being vn seminard, thy freer thoughts. Chapter 1000. I not fly forth of Egypt, hast thou affections? Chapter 1000. Yes, gracious madam. Chapter 150. Io, indeed. Chapter 1000. Not indeed, madam, for I can do nothing. But what indeed is honest to be done? Yet how I fierce affections, and think what Venus did with Mars. Chapter 150. Io, O Charmian. Where think'st thou he is now? Stands he or sits he? Or does he walk, or is he on his horse? O happy horse to bear the weight of Antony. Chapter 500. O brawly horse, for wot'st thou whom thou mooest? The demi atlas of this earth, the arm. And burgonet of men, he's speaking now. Or murmuring, where's my serpent of old Nile? For so he cowls me, now I feed myself. With most delicious poison, think on me. That him with Phoebus amorous pinches blacky. And wrinkled deep in time, broad-fronted Caesar. When thou wast here about the ground, I was a morsel for a monarch, and great Pompey would stand and make his eyes grow in my brow. There would he anchor his aspect, and die with looking on his life. Enter Alexis from Caesar. Alex, Sowerani of Egypt. Chapter 150. Io, how much vn like art thou Mark Antony? Yet calming from him, that great medicine hath, with his tinct gilded thee. How goes it with my bra Mark Antony? Alex, last thing he did, dear queen. He kissed the last of many doubled kisses. This orient pearl, his speech sticks in my heart. Chapter 150. Io, mine ear must pluck it thence. Alex, good friend, quoth he, say the firm Roman to great Egypt sends this treasure of an oyster, at whose foot, to mend the petty present, I will peace her opulent throne with kingdoms, all the east. Say thou shall call her mistress. So he nodded, and soberly did mount an arm-gaunt steed, who neighed so high that what I would haw spoke was beastly dumb by him. Chapter 150. Io, what was he sad or merry? Alex, like to the time oth year between y extremes of hot and cold, he was nor sad nor merry. Chapter 150. Io, oh well deuded disposition, note him. Note him, good Charmian, tease the man, but note him. He was not sad, for he would shine on those that make their looks by his. He was not merry, which seemed to tell them his remembrance lay. Chapter 1. In Egypt with his eye, but between both. O hohenly mingle, beastie thou sad or merry. The violence of either thee becomes. So does it no man's else, met'st thou my posts. Alex, I madam, 20 surall messengers. Why do you send so thick? Chapter 150. Eo, who's born that day when I forget to send. To Antony shall die a beggar, in key and paper Charmian. Welcome, my good Alexis, did I Charmian you were. Chapter 50. How Caesar so. Chapter 100. Har, oh that bra Caesar. Chapter 150. Eo, be choked with such another emphasis. Say the bra Antony. Chapter 100. Har, the valiant Caesar. Chapter 150. Eo, by Isis I will gee you the bloody teeth. Chapter 1. F thou with Caesar paragon again. Chapter 1000. Why man of men. Chapter 100. Har, by your most gracious pardon. Chapter 1. Sing but after you. Chapter 150. Eo, my salad days. When I was green in agement, cold in blood. To say as I said then, but come away. Get me in key and paper. He shall ha Uri de Assurall greeting, or I'll vn people. Egypt. Exeunt. Enter Pompey, Menecrates and Minas, in warlike manner. Pom, if the great gods be East, they shall assist. The deeds of Eastest men. Chapter 1000. E'en, no worthy Pompey that what they do delay. They not deny. Pom, whiles we are suitors to their throne decays. The thing we sue for. Chapter 1000. E'en, we ignorant of our cellus. Beg often our own harms, which the wise powers. Chapter 500. NIVs for our good, so fine we profit. By loosing of our prayers. Pom, I shall do well. The people allow me, and the sea is mine. Chapter 1000. Why powers are crescent, and my auguring hope. Says it will come toth full, Mark Antony. Chapter 1. En Egypt sits at dinner and will make. No wars without doors, Caesar gets money where. He looses hearts, Lepidus flatters both. Of both is flattered, but he neither lows, nor either cares for him. Chapter 1000. E'en, Caesar and Lepidus are in the field. A mighty strength they carry. Pom, where haw you this? 'Tis false. Chapter 1000. E'en, from Seleucus, sir. Pom, he dreams, I know they are in Rome together. Chapter 50. Ooking for Antony, but all the charms of Lao. Salt Cleopatra, soften thy wand lip. Chapter 50. At witchcraft eyen with beauty, lust with both. Tie VP the libertine in a field of feasts. Keep his brain fuming, Epicurean cooks. Sharpen with cloyless sauce his appetite. That sleep and feeding may prorogue his honor. Ewan till a lethe dullness. Enter Various. How now Various? Chapter 5. R. This is most certain that I shall deliver. Chapter 1000. Arch Antony is Uri hour in Rome. Expected, since he went from Egypt, tease. A space for farther trial. Pom, I could haud you in less matter. A better ear, Minas I did not think. This amorous surfeiter would ha donned his helmy. For such a petty war, his soldiership. Chapter 1. S twice the other twain, but let V's rear. The higher our opinion, that are stirring. Chapter 100. And from the lap of Egypt's widow, pluck. The near lust-wearied Antony. Chapter 1000. E'en, I cannot hope. Chapter 100. Esar and Antony shall well greet together. His wife that's dead, did trespasses to Caesar. His brother wanned vpon him, although I think. Not moved by Antony. Pom, I know not Minas. How lesser enmities may Giu weigh to greater. Were't not that we stand VP against them all. 'Twere pregnant, they should square between themselves. For they ha entertained cause enough. to draw their swords, but how the fear of these. Chapter 1000. I cement their divisions and bind VP. The petty difference, we yet not know. Beat as our gods will hoe it only stands. Our lius vpon, to VSE our strongest hands. Chapter 100. Om Minas. Exeunt. Enter Enobarbus and Lepidus. Chapter 50. Ep, good Enobarbus, 'tis a worthy deed, and shall become you well, to entreat your captain to soft and gentle speech. Enob, I shall entreat him to answer like himself, if Caesar moo him. Chapter 50. At Antony look our Caesar's head, and speak as loud as Mars, by Eupiter, were I the wearer of Anthonio's beard. Chapter 1. Would not show it today. Chapter 50. Ep, 'tis not a time for pre-weight stomaching. Eno, Uary time sorrows for the matter that is then born int. Chapter 50. Ep, but small to greater matters must you weigh. Eno, not if the small come first. Chapter 50. Ep, your speech is passion, but pray you stirra. No embers VP, here comes the noble Antony. Enter Antony and Ventidius. Eno, and yonder Caesar. Enter Caesar, Maecenas and Agrippa. Ant, if we compose well here to Parthia. Hark Ventidius. Chapter 100. Esar, I do not know Maecenas, ask Agrippa. Chapter 50. Ep, noble friends. That which combined these was most great, and let not a leaner action rend, these what's amiss. Chapter 1000. I it be gently heard, when we debate. Our triual difference loud, we do commit. Chapter 1000. Earther in healing wounds, then noble partners. The rather for I earnestly beseech. Touch you the sorest points with sweetest terms. Nor curseness grow toth matter. Ant, 'tis spoken well. Were we before our armies, and to fight. Chapter 1. Should do thus. Flourish. Chapter 100. Eyes welcome to Rome. Ant, thank you. Chapter 100. Eyes sit. Ant, sit, sir. Chapter 100. Eyes nay then. Ant, I learn you take things ill which are not so. Or being, concern you not. Chapter 100. Eyes I must be laughed at, if or for nothing or a little I should say myself offended, and with you. Chapter 100. He fleeth world, more laughed at that I should once name you derogately, when to sound your name. Chapter 1. T not concerned me. Ant, my being in Egypt Caesar, what was to you? Chapter 100. Eyes no more than my reciting here at Rome. Chapter 1001. GHT be to you in Egypt, yet if you there. Chapter 999. Practice on my state, your being in Egypt. Chapter 1001. GHT be my question. Ant, how intend you practiced? Chapter 100. Eyes you may be pleased to catch at mine intent. By what did here befall me, your wife and brother? Chapter 1000. Adewars vpon me and their contestation. Was theme for you, you were the word of war. Ant, you do mistake your busines, my brother newer. Chapter 999. VRGE me in his act, I did inquire it. And ha my learning from some true reports. That drew their swords with you, did he not rather? Chapter 501. Scredit my authority with yours. And make the wars alike against my stomachi. Hoeing alike your cause, of this my letters. Before did satisfy you, if you'll patch a quarrel. As matter whole you how to make it with. Chapter 1. T must not be with this. Chapter 100. Eyes you praise yourself, by laying defects of judgment. To me, but you patched VP your excuses. Anth, not so, not so. Chapter 1. No you could not lackey, I am certain on't. Chapter 5. Necessity of this thought that I, your partner in the cause, gainst which he fought. Chapter 100. Would not with graceful eyes attend those wars, which fronted mine own peace. As for my wife, Chapter 1. Would you had her spirit in such another? The third world is yours, which with a snaffle. You may pace easy, but not such a wife. In Nabar, would we had all such we use that the men. Chapter 1001. GHT go to wars with the women. Anth, so much v incurbable her garbles, Caesar. Chapter 1000. A day out of her impatience, which not wanted. Shrewdness of policy too, I gree you in grant. Chapter 999. You too much disquiet, for that you must. But say I could not help it. Chapter 100. Esar, I wrote to you, when rioting in Alexandria you. Chapter 999. Pocket VP my letters, and with taunts. Chapter 999. Jibe my miss you out of audience. Aunt, sir he fell vpon me, ere admitted then. 3 kings I had newly feasted, and did want. Of what I was ith morning, but next day. Chapter 1. Told him of myself, which was as much. As to ha asked him pardon, let this fellow be nothing of our strife, if we contend. Out of our question wipe him. Chapter 100. Esar, you ha broken the article of your oath, which you shall newer ha tongue to charge me with. Chapter 50. Soft Caesar. Aunt, no Lepidus let him speak. The honor is sacred, which he talks on now. Supposing that I lacked it, but on Caesar. The article of my oath. Chapter 100. Esar, to lend me arms and aid when I required them, the which you both denied. Anth, neglected rather. And then, when poisoned hours had bound me VP. From mine own knowledge, as nearly as I may. Chapter 49. Play the penitent to you, but mine honesty shall not make per my greatness, nor my power. Work without it, truth is that Phileuia. To haul me out of Egypt, made wars here. For which myself, the ignorant modiu, do. So far ask pardon, as befits mine honor. To stoop in such a case. Chapter 50. T's noble spoken. Chapter 1000. If it might please you to enforce no further. The griefs between ye, to forget them quite. Were to remember, that the present need speaks to atone you. Chapter 50. Worthily spoken Messinas. Inabar. Or if you borrow one another's low for the instant, you may when you hear no more words of Pompey return it again. You shall ha time to wrangle in, when you ha nothing else to do. Anth, thou art a soldier, onely speak no more. Enob, that truth should be silent, I had almost forgot. Anth, you wrong this presence, therefore speak no more. Enob, go to then, your considerate stone. Chapter 100. Esar, I do not much dislike the matter, but the manner of his speech, for it cannot be. We shall remain in friendship, our conditions. So differing in their acts, yet if I knew what hoop should hold these staunch from edge to edge. Ath world, I would pursue it. Agri, Giumilo Caesar. Chapter 100. Esar, speak Agrippa. Agri, thou hast a sister by the mother's side, admired. Octaia, great Mark Antony is now a widower. Chapter 100. Esar, say not, say Agrippa, if Cleopatra heard you, your proof were well deserved of rashness. Anth, I am not married Caesar, let me hear Agrippa. Further speak. Agri, to hold you in perpetual amity. To make you brothers, and to knit your hearts. Within VN slipping not, take Antony. Octaia to his wife, whose beauty claims no worse a husband than the best of men, whose Chapter 5. Virtue and whose general graces speak. That which none else can teach her, by this marriage. All little Ulysses, which now seem great, and all great fears, which now import their dangers, would then be nothing, truths would be tales. Where now half tales be truths, her low to both. Would each to other, and all lows to both. Chapter 500. Raw after her, pardon what I ha spoke. For 'tis a studied not a present thought. by duty ruminated. Anth, will Caesar speak? Chapter 100, Esar, not till he hears how Antony is tucked. With what is spoke already. Anth, what power is in Agrippa? Chapter 1, if I would say Agrippa, be it so. To make this good. Chapter 100, Esar, the power of Caesar. And his power, vientio octoia. Anth, may I newer. To this good purpose, that so fairly shows. Chapter 500, ream of impediment, let me haw thy hand. Further this act of grace, and from this hour, the heart of brothers gowen in our lows, and sway our great designs. Chapter 100, Esar, there's my hand. A sister I bequeath you, whom no brother. Chapter 999, you are louse so dearly, let her lie you. To eyen our kingdoms, and our hearts and newer. Fly off our louse again. Chapter 50, Epi, happily amen. Aunt, I did not think to draw my sword gainst Pompey. For he hath laid strange courtesies, and great. Of late vipon me, I must thank him onely. Chapter 50, East my remembrance suffer ill report. At heel of that defy him. Chapter 50, Epi, time cals vipons. Of these must Pompey presently be sought. Or else he seeks out verses. Anth, where lies he? Chapter 100, Esar, about the Mount Messina. Anth, what is his strength by land? Chapter 100, Esar, great and increasing. But by sea he is an absolute master. Anth, so is the fame. Would we had spoke together, hast we for it? Yet ere we put our selus in arms, dispatch we the business we ha talked of. Chapter 100, Esar, with most gladness. And do enjoy you to my sister's view. Whether straight I'll lead you. Anth, let vis lepidus not lackey your company. Chapter 50, Ep, noble Antony, not sickenes should detain me. Flourish, exit omnes, manit inabarbis Agrippa Messinas. Chapter 1000, Ec, welcome from Egypt, sir. Eno, half the heart of Caesar, worthy Messinas, my honorable friend Agrippa. Agri, good inabarbis. Chapter 1000, S, we ha cause to be glad that matters are so. Well disjusted, you stayed well bite in Egypt. Enob, I sir, we did sleep day out of countenance, and made the night light with drinking. Chapter 1000, S, 8 wild boars roasted whole at a breakfast, and but 12 persons there. Is this true? Eno, this was but as a fly by an eagle, we had much more monstrous matter of feast, which worthily deserved noting. Chapter 1000, Aeneas, she's a most triumphant lady, if report be square to her. Enob, when she first met Mark Antony, she pursed. Chapter 5, P his heart vipon the rewer of Sydney's. Agri, there she appeared indeed, or my reporter duised. Well for her. Eno, I will tell you. The barge she sat in, like a burnished throne. Burnt on the water, the poop was beaten gold. Purple the sails, and so perfumed that the winds were louse-sick. With them the oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster, as amorous of their strokes, for her own person. Chapter 1, Tea beggared all description, she did lie. Chapter 1, and her poilion cloth of gold of tissue. A repicturing that Venus, where we see the fancy outwork nature, on each side her stood pretty dimpled boys, like smiling cupids, with dewars coolered fans whose wind did seem to glow the delicate cheeks which they did cool. And what they vien did. Agrip, O rare for Antony. Eno, her gentlewoman like the Nereids. So many mermaids tended her thighs, and made their bends adornings, at the helmy. A seeming mermaid steers, the silken tackle. Swell with the touches of those flower-soft hands that yearly frame the office, from the barge. A strange, inusable perfume hits the sense. Of the adjacent wharfs, the city cast. Her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned i'th marketplace, did sit alone. Whistling toth air, which but for vacancy had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too, and made a gap in nature. Agri, rare Egyptian. Eno, vipon her landing, Antony sent to her. Chapter 1, knew it her to supper, she replied. Chapter 1, tea should be better, he became her guest. Which she entreated, our courteous Antony, whom near the word of no woman hard speak. Being barbered 10 times a re, goes to the feast, and for his ordinary, pays his heart. For what his eyes eat onely. Agri, royal wench. She made great Caesar lay his sword to bed. He plowed her, and she cropped. Eno, I saw her once. Hop 40 paces through the public street. And hoeing lost her breath, she spoke and panted. That she did make defect, perfection. And breathless power breath forth. Chapter 1000. Now Antony must low her VT turly. Eno, newer he will not. Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale. Her infinite variety, other women cloy. The appetites they feed, but she makes hungry. Where most she satisfies, for vildest things. Become them cellus in her, that the holy priests bless her when she is riggish. Chapter 1000. If beauty, wisdom, modesty can settle the heart of Antony, Octoia is a blessed lottery to him. Agrip, let these go, good Anabarbus make yourself. Chapter 1000. Why guest, whilst you abide here? Eno, humbly sir I thank you. Exeunt. Enter Antony, Caesar, Octoia between them. Anth, the world and my great office will sometimes duide me from your bosom. Octa, all which time before the gods my knee shall bow my prayers to them for you. Anth, good night, sir, my Octoia. Read not my blemishes in the world's report. Chapter 1. Ho not kept my square, but that to come shall all be done by'th rule. Good night, dear lady. Good night, sir. Chapter 100. Esar, good night. Enter soothsayer. Anth, now Sirrah, you do wish yourself in Egypt. Sooth, would I had newer come from thence, nor you thither. Ant, if you can your reason. Sooth, I see it in my motion, heart not in my tongue. But yet hie you to Egypt again. Antho, say to me, whose fortunes shall rise higher. Chapter 100. Esar's or mine? Sooth, Caesar's. Therefore, O Antony, stay not by his side. Thy demon that thy spirit which keeps thee is noble, courageous, high vn matchable. Where Caesar's is not, but near him thy angel becomes a fear, as being o'erpowered therefore. Chapter 1000. Ache space enough between you. Anth, speak this no more. Sooth, to none but thee no more, but when to thee. Chapter 1. If thou dost play with him at any game, thou art sure to lose, and of that natural luck. He beats thee 'gainst the odds, thy luster thickens. When he shines by, I say again thy spirit. Chapter 1. All afraid to gowern thee near him. But he alway 'tis noble. Anth, get thee gone. Say to Ventigius, I would speak with him. Enter. He shall to Parthia, be it art or hap. He hath spoken true, the very dice obey him. And in our sports my better cunning faints. Chapter 5. Ender his chance, if we draw lots he speeds. His cocks do win the battle, still of mine. When it is all to naught, and his quails ewer. Beat mine and hooped at odds, I will to Egypt. And though I make this marriage for my peace. Chapter 1. East my pleasure lies, O come Ventigius. Enter Ventigius. You must to Parthia, your commission's ready. Follow me and receive. Exeunt. Enter Lepidus, Maecenas and Agrippa. Chapter 50, Epidus, trouble yourselves no further, pray you. Hasten your generals after. Agar, Sir Mark Antony will end but kiss Octoia. And we'll follow. Chapter 50, Epi, till I shall see you in your soldier's dress. Which will become you both, farewell. Chapter 1000, we shall, as I can see you the year nigh be at. Chapter 1000, out before you Lepidus. Chapter 50, Epi, your way is shorter, my purposes do draw me. Chapter 1000, uch about, you'll in 2 days vpon me. Both, sir good success. Chapter 50, Epi, farewell. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Eras, and Alexas. Chapter 150, Io, give me some music, moody food. Of verses that trade in Lao. Omnes, the music hoa. Enter Mardian the eunuch. Chapter 150, Io, let it alone, let's to billiards, come Charmian. Chapter 100, Har, my arm is sore, best play with Mardian. Chapter 150, Iapa, as well a woman with an eunuch played as. With a woman, come you'll play with me, sir. Chapter 1000, Artie, as well as I can, madam. Chapter 150, Io, and when goodwill is showed. Tho't come to short. The actor may plead pardon, I'll none now. Give me mine angle, we'll toth re you are there. Chapter 1000, why music playing far off, I will betray. Tawny fine fishes, my bended hook shall pierce. Their slimy eyes, and as I draw them VP. Chapter 49, think them Uri one and Antony. And say you're caught. Chapter 100, Har, 'twas merry when you wagered on your angling, when your dewer did hang a salt fish on his hook, which he with fervency drew VP. Chapter 150, Io, that time, O times. Chapter 1, laughed him out of patience, and that night. Chapter 1, laughed him into patience, and next morn. Ere the 9th hour, I drunk him to his bed. Then put my tires and mantles on him, whilst. Chapter 1, wore his sword Philippan, from Italy. Enter a messenger. Ram thou thy fruitful tidings in mine ears. That long time ha been barren. Chapter 1000, madam. Chapter 150, Io, Anthonio's dead. Chapter 1, if thou say so villain, thou kill'st thy mistress. But well and free, if thou so yield him. There is gold, and here. Chapter 1000, why bluest veins to kiss, a hand that kings. Ha lipped and trembled kissing. Chapter 1000, first madam he is well. Chapter 150, Io, why there's more gold. But Sirrah Mark, we vsc. To say the dead are well, bring it to that. The gold I gu thee, will I melt in power. Chapter 500, own thy ill vt-turring throat. Chapter 1000, good madam hear me. Chapter 150, Io, well go to I will. But there's no goodness in thy face if Antony. Be free and healthful, so tardafore. To trumpet such good tidings, if not well. Thou shouldst come like a fury crowned with snakes. Not like a formal man. Chapter 1000, wilt please you hear me. Chapter 150, Io, I ha a mind to strike thee ere thou speak'st. Yet if thou say Antony Leus, 'tis well. Or friends with Caesar, or not captive you to him. Chapter 49, set thee in a shower of gold and hail. Rich pearls vipon thee. Chapter 1000, madam he's well. Chapter 150, Io, well said. Chapter 1000, and friends with Caesar. Chapter 150, Io, th an honest man. Chapter 1000, Caesar and he are greater friends than you are. Chapter 150, Io, make thee a fortune from me. Chapter 1000, but yet madam. Chapter 150, Io, I do not like, but yet it does allay. The good precedence, 5 upon but yet. But yet is as a iler to bring forth. Some monstrous malefactor, prithee friend, power out the packy of matter to mine ear. The good and bad together, he's friends with Caesar. Chapter 1. End state of health thou sayest, and thou sayest, free. Chapter 1000. Ease. Free madam, no, I made no such report. He's bound vientio octoia. Chapter 150. Eo. For what good turn? Chapter 1000. Ease. For the best turn I'th bed. Chapter 150. Eo. I am pale Charmian. Chapter 1000. Ease. Madam, he's married to Octoia. Chapter 150. Eo. The most infectious pestilence vipon thee. Strikes him down. Chapter 1000. Ease. Good madam, patience. Chapter 150. Eo. What say you? Strikes him. Hence horrible villain, or I'll spurn thine eyes. Chapter 51. Key balls before me, I'll vien hair thy head. She hails him VP and down. Thou shalt be whipped with wire, and stewed in brine. Smarting and lingering pickle. Chapter 1000. Ease, gracious madam. Chapter 1. That do bring the news made not the match. Chapter 150. Eo. Say 'tis not so, a pruence I will gew thee. And make thy fortunes proud, the blow thou hadst shall make thy peace, for mooing me to rage. And I will boot thee with what gift beside thy modesty can beg. Chapter 1000. Ease, he's married madam. Chapter 150. Eo. Rogue, thou hast lewd too long. Chapter 500. Raw a knife. Chapter 1000. Ease, nay then I'll run. What mean you, madam? I ha made no fault. Enter. Chapter 100. Har, good madam, keep yourself within yourself. The man is innocent. Chapter 150. Eo. Some innocents scape not the thunderbolt. Chapter 1000. Elt Egypt into Nile, and kindly creatures turn all to serpents, call the slaw again. Though I am mad, I will not bite him, call. Chapter 100. Har, he is afeard to come. Chapter 150. Eo. I will not hurt him. These hands do lackey nobility, that they strike. A meaner than myself, since I myself ha genuine myself the cause. Come hither, sir. Enter the messenger again. Though it be honest, it is new or good to bring bad news, gew to a gracious message. An host of tongues, but let ill tidings tell them salus when they be felt. Chapter 1000. Ease, I ha done my duty. Chapter 150. Eo. Is he married? Chapter 1. Cannot hate thee worser than I do. Chapter 1. If thou again say yes. Chapter 1000. Ease, he's married madam. Chapter 150. Eo. The gods confound thee. Chapter 500. Us thou hold there still. Chapter 1000. Ease, should I lie madam? Chapter 150. Eo. Oh, I would thou didst. So half my Egypt were submerged and made a cistern for scald snakes. Go get thee hence. Hadst thou Narcissus in thy face to me, thou wouldst appear most vigli. He is married. Chapter 1000. Ease, I cry your highness pardon. Chapter 150. Eo. He is married. Chapter 1000. Ease, take no offense that I would not offend you. To punish me for what you make me do seems much veen equal. He's married to Octoia. Chapter 150. Eo. Oh, that his fault should make a gnaw of thee. That art not what art sure of. Get thee hence. The merchandise which thou hast brought from Rome are all too dear for me. Chapter 50. Ye they vipon thy hand, and be viendone by M. Chapter 100. Har, good your highness patience. Chapter 150. Eo. In praising Antony I ha dispraised Caesar. Chapter 100. Har, many times madam. Chapter 150. Io, I am paid for't now, lead me from hence. Chapter 1. Faint, O eras Charmian, tease no matter. Go to the fellow, good Alexis bid him. Report the feature of Octavia, her years, her inclination, let him not low out. The color of her hair, bring me word quickly. Chapter 50. Et him for you or go, let him not Charmian. Though he be painted one way like a Gorgon, the other ways a Mars, bid you Alexis. Bring me word how tall she is, pity me Charmian. But do not speak to me, lead me to my chamber. Exeunt. Flourish, enter Pompey at one door with drum and trumpet, at another. Chapter 100. Isar, Lepidus, Antony, Enobarbus, Maecenas, Agrippa, Minas. With soldiers. Chapter 1000. Arching. Pom, your hostages I haw, so haw you mine. And we shall talk before we fight. Chapter 100. Isar, most meet that first we come to words. And therefore haw we. Our written purposes before these sent. Which if thou hast considered, let these know. Chapter 1. F. Twill tie VP thy discontented sword, and carry baccy to Sicily much tall youth. That else must perish here. Pom, to you all three. The senators alone of this great world. Chapter 100. Heave factors for the gods, I do not know. Wherefore my father should ruingers want. Hoing a son and friends, since a Julius Caesar, who at Philippi the good Brutus ghosted. There saw you laboring for him, what wast? That mood pale Cassius to conspire, and what? Chapter 1000. Ade all honored, honest, Romain Brutus. With the armed rest, courtiers of beauteous freedom. To drench the Capitol, but that they would. Ha one man but a man, and that his it. Hath made me rig my noy, at whose burthen the angered ocean foams, with which I meant to scourge ingratitude that despiteful Rome. Chapter 100. Asked on my noble father. Chapter 100. Isar, take your time. Ant, thou canst not fear versus Pompey with thy sails. We'll speak with thee at sea, at land thou know'st he. How much we do a recount thee. Pom, at land indeed. Thou dost o'ercount me of my father's house. But since the cuckoo builds not for himself, remain int as thou mayest. Chapter 50. Epi, be pleased to tell these. For this is from the present how you take the offers we ha sent you. Chapter 100. Isar, there's the point. Ant, which do not be entreated to, but wag what it is worth in bract. Chapter 100. Isar, and what may follow to try a larger fortune. Pom, you ha made me offer of Sicily, Sardinia, and I must rid all the sea of Purets, then to send. Chapter 1000. Easures of wheat to Rome, this greed vipon. To part with the unhacked edges, and bear baccy. Our targes v endinted. Omnes, that's our offer. Pom, know then I came before you here. A man prepared to take this offer, but Mark Antony put me to some impatience, though I loose the praise of it by telling, you must know. When Caesar and your brother were at blows, your mother came to Sicily, and did find her welcome friendly. Aunt, I ha heard at Pompey, and am well studied for a liberal thanks, which I do owe you. Pom, let me ha your hand. Chapter 1. Did not think, sir, to ha met you here. Aunt, the beds i'th east are soft, and thanks to you. That called me timelier than my purpose hither, for I ha gained bite. Chapter 100. Isar, since I saw you last, there's a change vipon you. Pom, well I know not what counts harsh fortune casts vipon my face, but in my bosom shall she newer come, to make my heart her vassal. Chapter 50. Ep, well met here. Pom, I hope so Lepidus, thus we are agreed. Chapter 1. Craw our composition may be written, and sealed between V's. Chapter 100, Isar, that's the next to do. Palm, we'll feast each other ere we part and let's. Chapter 500, raw lots who shall begin. Ant, that will I Pompey. Pompey, no Antony take the lot, but first or last your fine Egyptian cookery shall haw the fame. I haw heard that Iulius Caesar grew fat with feasting there. Anth, you haw heard much. Palm, I haw fair meaning, sir. Ant, and fair words to them. Palm, then so much haw I heard. And I haw heard Apollodorus carried. Eno, no more that, he did so. Palm, what I pray you. Eno, a certain queen to Caesar and a mattress. Palm, I know thee now how farsty thou soldier. Eno, well and well am like to do, for I pursee you. 4 feasts are toward. Palm, let me shake thy hand. Chapter 1, knew or hated thee, I haw seen thee fight. When I haw anide thy behoyer. Enob, sir, I nor lewd you much, but I haw praised ye. When you haw well deserved 10 times as much. As I haw said you did. Palm, in I thy plainness. Chapter 1, nothing ill becomes thee. Aboard my galley, I knew it you all. Will you lead lords? All, shows the way, sir. Palm, come. Exeunt, Manat Enob and Minas. Chapter 1000, N, thy father Pompey would near haw made this. Treaty, you and I haw known, sir. Enob, at sea I think. Chapter 1000, N, we haw, sir. Enob, you haw done well by water. Chapter 1000, N, and you by land. Enob, I will praise any man that will praise me. Thought it cannot be denied what I haw done by land. Chapter 1000, N, nor what I haw done by water. Enob, yes, something you can deny for your own safety. You haw been a great thief by sea. Chapter 1000, N, and you by land. Enob, there I deny my land Sarois, but gee you me your hand Minas, if our eyes had authority, here they might take 2 theus kissing. Chapter 1000, N, all men's faces are true, whatsoever their hands are. Enob, but there is newer a fair woman ha's a true face. Chapter 1000, N, no slander they steal hearts. Enob, we came hither to fight with you. Chapter 1000, N, for my part I am sorry it is turned to a drinking. Pompey doth this day laugh away his fortune. Enob, if he do, sure he cannot weep back ye again. Chapter 1000, N, Yaha said, sir, we look not for Mark Antony. Here, pray you, is he married to Cleopatra? Enob, Caesar's sister is called Octoia. Chapter 1000, N, true, sir, she was the wife of Caius Marcellus. Enob, but she is now the wife of Marcus Anthonius. Chapter 1000, N, pray, sir. Enob, 'tis true. Chapter 1000, N, then is Caesar and he, for you're knit together. Enob, if I were bound to do one of this vanity, I wold. Not prophecy so. Chapter 1000, N, I think the policy of that purpose made more. Chapter 1, and the marriage than the low of the parties. Enob, I think so too, but you shall find the band that seems to tie their friendship together will be the very strangler of their amity. Octoia is of a holy, cold, and still connuisation. Chapter 1000, N, who would not haw his wife so, Eno, not he that himself is not so, which is Mark Antony, he will to his Egyptian dish again. Then shall the size of Octoia blow the fire VP and Caesar, and as I said before, that which is the strength of their amity shall prow the immediate author of their variance. Antony will VSC his affection where it is. He married, but his occasion here. Chapter 1000, N, and thus it may be, come sir, will you aboard? Chapter 1, haw a health for you. Enob, I shall take it, sir, we haw VS'd our throats in. Egypt. Chapter 1000, N, come, let's away. Exeunt. Chapter 1000, music plays, enter 2 or 3 Saroants with a banquet. One here they'll be man. Some their plants are ill-rooted already. The least wind i'th world will blow them down. Two Lepidus is high cooler, they ha made him drink, almas drink. Two, as they pinch one another by the disposition, he cries out no more, reconciles them to his entreaty, and himself doth drink. One, but it raises the greater war between him and his discretion. Two, why this it is to ha a name in great men's fellowship. I had as liu ha a reed that will do me no service, as a partisan I could not hoe. One to be called into a huge sphere, and not to be seen to moo int, are the holes where eyes should be, which pitifully disaster the cheeks. A senate sounded. Enter Caesar, Antony, Pompey, Lepidus. Agrippa. Chapter 1000. Aeneas, Enobarbus, Menes with other captains. Ant, thus do they, sir, they take the flow o'th Nile. By certain scales o'th pyramid, they know. By height the lowness or the mean, if dearth or foison follow, the higher Nilus swells. The more it promises, as it ebbs the seedsman. Chapter 5. Pon the slime and ooze scatters his grain, and shortly comes to harvest. Chapter 50. Ep, Yahah strange serpents there. Anth, I Lepidus. Chapter 50. Ep, your serpent of Egypt is bred now of your mud. By the operation of your son, so is your crocodile. Ant, they are so. Palm sit in some wine, a health to Lepidus. Chapter 50. Ep, I am not so well as I should be, but I'll near out. Enob, not till you ha slept, I fear me you'll be in. Till then. Chapter 50. Ep, nay certainly I ha heard the Ptolemies Pyramises are very goodly things. Without contradiction I ha heard that. Chapter 1000. Enes, Pompey a word. Pomp, say in mine ear what is't. Chapter 1000. N, forsake thy seat I do beseech thee, captain, and hear me speak a word. Pom, forbear me till anon. Whispers in's ear. This wine for Lepidus. Chapter 50. Ep, what manner o thing is your crocodile? Ant, it is shapt, sir, like itself, and it is as broad as it hath breadth. It is e'as so high as it is, and muyus with it own organs. It lius by that which nourisheth it, and the elements once out of it, it transmigrates. Chapter 50. Ep, what color is it of? Ant, of it own color too. Chapter 50. Ep, 'tis a strange serpent. Ant, 'tis so, and the tears of it are wet. Chapter 100. Eyes will this description satisfy him. Ant, with the health that Pompey geus him, else he. Chapter 1. Es a very epicure. Pomp, go hang sir hang, tell me of that, away. Chapter 500. Oh, as I bid you, where's this cup I called for? Chapter 1000. N, if for the sake of merit thou wilt hear me. Rise from thy stool. Pom, I think art mad, the matter. Chapter 1000. N, I haw you are held my cap off to thy fortunes. Pom, thou hast serried me with much faith, what's else to say, be illy lords. Anth, these quicksands Lepidus. Keep off them for you sink. Chapter 1000. N, wilt thou be lord of all the world? Pom, what sayest thou? Chapter 1000. N, wilt thou be lord of the whole world? That's twice. Pom, how should that be? Chapter 1000. N, but entertain it, and though thou think me poor, I am the man will gee you thee all the world. Pom, hast thou drunk well? Chapter 1000. N, no Pompey I haw kept me from the cup. Thou art, if thou darst be, the earthly Io. Whate'er the ocean pales, or sky eclipse. Chapter 1. Es thine if thou wilt hat. Pom, show me which way. Chapter 1000. N, these three world sharers, these competitors, are in thy vessel, let me cut the cable. And when we are put off, fall to their throats. All there is thine. Pom, this thou shouldst ha done. And not ha spoke on't, in me 'tis villainy. Chapter 1. And thee, had been good Sarois, thou must know. 'Tis not my profit that does lead mine honor. Chapter 1001. Ne honor it, repent that ere thy tongue hath so betrayed thine acti, being done vien known. Chapter 1. Should ha found it afterwards well done, but must condemn it now, desist and drink. Chapter 1000. N. For this I'll newer follow thy palled fortunes more. Who seeks and will not take, when once 'tis offered, shall newer find it more. Palm, this health to Lepidus. Ant, bear him ashore. Chapter 49. Pledge it for him Pompey. Eno, here's to the Minas. Chapter 1000. N. Inobarbus welcome. Palm, fill till the cup be hid. Eno, there's a strong fellow Minas. Chapter 1000. N. Why? Eno, a bears the third part of the world man, ceased. Not. Chapter 1000. N. The third part then he is drunk, would it were all, that it might go on wheels. Eno, drink thou, increase the reels. Chapter 1000. N. Come. Palm, this is not yet an Alexandrian feast. Ant, it ripens towards it, strike the vessel's hoa. Here's to Caesar. Chapter 100. Isar, I could well forbear its monstrous labor, when I wash my brain, and it grow fouler. Ant, be a child oath time. Chapter 100. Isar, possess it I'll make answer, but I had rather fast from all 4 days, than drink so much in one. Enob, how my bra emperor shall we dance now? The Egyptian bacchanals, and celebrate our drink. Palm, let's hat good soldier. Ant, come let's all take hands, till that the conquering wine hath steeped our sense. Chapter 1. And soft and delicate Lethe. Eno, all take hands. Chapter 1000. Ake battery to our ears with the loud music. The while I'll place you, then the boy shall sing. The holding Uri man shall beat as loud as his strong sides can volley. Chapter 1000. Music plays, Inobarbus places them hand in hand. The song. Chapter 100. Om thou monarch of the vine. Plumpy Bacchus with pink eyne. Chapter 1. In thy fats our cares be drowned, with thy grapes our hairs be crowned. Chapter 100. Up V's till the world go round. Chapter 100. Up V's till the world go round. Chapter 100. Isar, what would you more? Pompey, good night, good brother. Chapter 50. Let me request you of our grower business. Frowns at this luity, gentle lords let's part. You see we ha burnt our cheeks, strong and Inobarb. Chapter 1. S weaker than the wine and mine own tongue. Spleets what it speaks, the wilder disguise hath almost. Antict V's all, what needs more words, good night. Good Antony your hand. Palm, I'll try you on the shore. Anth, and shall Sir G use your hand. Palm, O Antony, you ha my father house. But what, we are friends. Chapter 100. Ohm down into the boat. Eno, take heed you fall not Minas, I'll not on shore. No to my cabin, these drums. These trumpets, flutes, what? Chapter 50. At Neptune here we bid a loud farewell. To these great fellows, sound and be hanged, sound out. Sound a flourish with drums. Ener, who says there's my cap. Chapter 1000. N. Ho, a noble captain come. Exeunt. Enter Ventidius as it were in triumph, the dead body of Pacorus borne before him. Chapter 5. N. Now darting Parthia art thou stroke, and now pleased fortune does of Marcus Crassus death. Chapter 1000. Acme Ruinger, bear the king's son's body. Before our army, thy Pacorus orades. Pays this for Marcus Crassus. Romain, noble Ventidius. Whilst, yet with Parthian blood thy sword is warm. The fugitive Parthians follow, spur through Media. Chapter 1000. Mesopotamia and the shelters weather. the rooted fly, so thy grand captain Antony shall set thee on triumphant chariots, and put garlands on thy head. Chapter 5. N. O Silius, Silius. Chapter 1. Hot and enough, a lower place note well. Chapter 1000. I make too great an act, for learn this Silius. Better to low viendone, than by our deed acquire too high a fame, when him we seruse away. Chapter 100. Isar and Antony, ha you are one. Chapter 1000. Or in their officer than person, Saucius, one of my place in Syria, his lieutenant, for quick accumulation of renown, which he achieved byth minute, lost his for. Who does ith, wars more than his captain can, becomes his captain's captain, an ambition. The soldier's virtue rather makes choice of loss than gain, which darkens him. Chapter 1. Could do more to do Anthonius good, but 'twould offend him, and in his offense should my performance perish. Rome, thou hast Ventidius that, without the which a soldier and his sword grants scarce distinction, thou wilt write to Antony. Chapter 5. N. I'll humbly signify what in his name that magical word of war we ha affected. How with his banners, and his well-paid ranks, the near yet beaten horse of Parthia, we ha aided out oath field. Rome, where is he now? Chapter 5. N. He purposed to Athens, whither with what hast. The weight we must canoe with will permit. We shall appear before him, on there pass along. Exeunt. Enter Agrippa at one door, Enobarbus at another. Agri, what are the brothers parted? Eno, they ha dispatched with Pompey, he is gone. The other three are sealing, Octaia weeps. To part from Rome, Caesar is sad and Lepidus, since Pompey's feast, as Mina says, is troubled with the green sickness. Agri, 'tis a noble Lepidus. Eno, a very fine one, oh how he loves Caesar. Agri, nay but how dearly he adores Mark Antony. Eno, Caesar, why he's the Eupiter of men. Ant, what's Anthony, the god of Eupiter? Eno, spake you of Caesar, how the non-peril. Agri, O Anthony, O thou Arabian bird. Eno, would you praise Caesar, say Caesar go no further. Agar, indeed he plied them both with excellent praises. Eno, but he lows Caesar best, yet he lows Anthony. Who, hearts, tongues, figure. Scribes, bards, poets cannot. Think, speak, cast, write, sing, number, who? His low to Anthony, but as for Caesar, kneel down and wonder. Agri, both he lows. Eno, they are his shards, and he their beetles so. This is to horse, adieu, noble Agrippa. Agri, good fortune, worthy soldier, and farewell. Enter Caesar, Anthony, Lepidus, and Octaia. Antho, no further, sir. Chapter 100. Isar, you take from me a great part of myself. Chapter 5. See me well in't, sister, prow such a wife. As my thoughts make thee, and as my farthest band shall pass on thy approof, most noble Anthony. Chapter 50. At not the piece of virtue which is set betwixt these, as the Simon of our low. To keep it builded, be the ram to batter the fortress of it, for better might we ha lewd without this mean, if on both parts this be not cherished. Ant, make me not offended in your distrust. Chapter 100. Isar, I ha said. Ant, you shall not find, though you be therein curious, the less cause. For what you seem to fear, so the gods keep you, and make the hearts of Romanes, Saru your ends. We will here part. Chapter 100. Isar, farewell my dearest sister, fare thee well. The elements be kind to thee, and make thy spirits all of comfort, fare thee well. Octa, my noble brother. Anth, the Aprils in her eyes, it is Lau's spring, and these the showers to bring it on, be cheerful. Octa, sir, look well to my husband's house, and Chapter 100. Isar, what Octoya? Octa, I'll tell you in your ear. Ant, her tongue will not obey her heart, nor can her heart inform her tongue. The swan's down feather. That stands vipon the swell at the full of tide, and neither way inclines. Eno, will Caesar weep? Agar, he has a cloud in's face. Eno, he were the worse for that were he a horse, so is he being a man. Agri, why Enobarbus? When Antony found Julius Caesar dead, he cried almost to roaring, and he wept. When at Philippi he found Brutus slain. Eno, that year indeed he was troubled with a rheum. What willingly he did confound, he wailed. Beliat till I weep too. Chapter 100, Isar, no sweet Octoya. You shall hear from me still, the time shall not outgo my thinking on you. Ant, come sir, come. Chapter 49, wrestle with you in my strength of low. Chapter 50, here I haw you, thus I let you go, and giu you to the gods. Chapter 100, Isar, adieu, be happy. Chapter 50, let all the number of the stars giu light to thy fair way. Chapter 100, Isar, farewell, farewell. Kisses Octoya. Ant, farewell. Trumpets sound, exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Eras, and Alexas. Chapter 150, Io, where is the fellow? Alex, half afeared to come. Chapter 150, Io, go to, come hither, sir. Enter the messenger, as before. Alex, good majesty, Herod of Eri dare not look. Chapter 5, pawn you but when you are well pleased. Chapter 150, Io, that Herod's head I'll haw, but how, when? Antony is gone, through whom I might command it. Chapter 100, thou near. Chapter 1000, most gracious majesty. Chapter 150, Io, didst thou behold Octoya? Chapter 1000, I dread queen. Chapter 150, Io, where? Chapter 1000, Madam in Rome I looked her in the face, and saw her led between her brother and Mark Antony. Chapter 150, Io, is she as tall as me? Chapter 1000, she is not madam. Chapter 150, Io, didst hear her speak? Chapter 1, she shrill tongued or low? Chapter 1000, madam I heard her speak, she is low voiced. Chapter 150, Io, that's not so good, he cannot like her long. Chapter 100, har like her, O Isis, 'tis impossible. Chapter 150, Io, I think so Charmian, dull of tongue and dwarfish. What majesty is in her gait, remember. Chapter 1, ere thou look'st on majesty. Chapter 1000, she creeps, her motion and her station are as one. She shows a body, rather than a life. A statue, than a breather. Chapter 150, Io, is this certain? Chapter 1000, or I ha no observance. Chapter 100, three in Egypt cannot make better note. Chapter 150, Io, he's very knowing I do perceive it. There's nothing in her yet. The fellow has good judgment. Chapter 100, excellent. Chapter 150, Io, guess at her years I prithee. Chapter 1000, madam she was a widow. Chapter 150, Io, widow, Charmian hark. Chapter 1000, and I do think she's 30. Chapter 150, bear'st thou her face in mind, ist long around. Chapter 1000, round, ewen to faultiness. Chapter 150, Io, for the most part too they are foolish that are. So, her hair what color? Chapter 1000, brown madam, and her forehead as low as she would wish it. Chapter 150, Io, there's gold for thee. Thou must not take my former sharpness ill. Chapter 1. Will employ thee Bacchiagan, I find thee. Chapter 1000. Ost fit for business, go make thee ready. Our letters are prepared. Chapter 100. Har, a proper man. Chapter 150. Eo, indeed he is so, I repent me much. That so I harried him, why methinks by him. This creature's no such thing. Chapter 100. Har, nothing madam. Chapter 150. Eo, the man hath seen some majesty and should. No. Chapter 100. Har, hath he seen majesty, Isis else defend, and sarrowing you so long. Chapter 150. Eapa, I ha one thing more to ask him yet good Charmian, but 'tis no matter, thou shalt bring him to me where I will write, all may be well enough. Chapter 100. Har, I warrant you madam. Exeunt. Enter Antony and Octoya. Nay, Octoya, not only that. That were excusable, that and thousands more. Of semblable import, but he hath wagged. New wars 'gainst Pompey, made his will and read it. To public ear, spoke scantly of me, when perforce he could not. But pay me terms of honor, cold and sickly. He vented then most narrow measure, lent me. When the best hint was when him, he not tooked. Or did it from his teeth. Octoi, O my good lord. Believe you not all, or if you must believe you. Stomach ye not all, a more vien happy lady. Chapter 1. F this Dusian chance near stood between. Praying for both parts. The good gods will mock me presently. When I shall pray, O bless my lord and husband. Chapter 5. And ye owe that prayer by crying out as loud. O bless my brother, husband win brother. Praise, and destroys the prayer no midway. Twixt these extremes at all. Gentle Octoya. Chapter 50. At your best loud draw to that point which seeks. Best to pursue it, if I loose mine honor. Chapter 1. Loose myself, better I were not yours. Then you're so branchless, but as you requested. Yourself shall go betweens, the meantime lady. Chapter 49. Raise the preparation of a war. Shall stain your brother, make your soonest hast. So your desires are yours. Oct, thanks to my lord. The isle of power make me most weak, most weak. Your reconciler, wars twixt you twain would be. As if the world should clow, and that slain men should solder VP the rift. When it appears to you where this begins, turn your displeasure that way, for our faults. Chapter 100. And newer be so equal that you're low. Chapter 100. And equally moo with them, pride your going. Chapter 100. Who's your own company and command what cost. Your heart he's mine too. Exeunt. Enter Enobarbus and Eros. Eno, how now friend Eros? Eros, there's strange news come, sir. Eno, what man? Ero, Caesar and Lepidus ha made wars vipon Pompey. Eno, this is old, what is the success? Eros, Caesar hawing made VSC of him in the wars 'gainst Pompey, presently denied him reality, would not let him partake in the glory of the action, and not resting here, accuses him of letters he had formerly wrote to Pompey. Vipon his own appeal seizes him, so the poor third is VP, till death enlarge his confine. Eno, then would thou hadst a pair of chaps no more, and throw between them all the food thou hast, they'll grind the other. Where's Antony? Eros. He's walking in the garden thus, and spurns the rush that lies before him. Cries fool Lepidus, and threats the throat of that his officer, that murdered Pompey. Eno, our great noise rigged. Eros, for Italy and Caesar more domitious. Chapter 1000. Why Lord desires you presently, my news. Chapter 1. Might ha told hereafter. Eno, 'twill not, but let it be. Bring me to Antony. Eros, come, sir. Exeunt. Enter Agrippa, Maecenas, and Caesar. Chapter 100. Eyes contemning Rome he has done all this, and more. Chapter 1. In Alexandria, here's the manner oft. Chapter 1. Marketplace on a tribunal silhouetted. Chapter 150. Cleopatra and himself in chairs of gold were publicly enthroned, at the feet sat. Chapter 100. Isarian whom they call my father's son, and all the Vien lawful issue, that their lust since then hath made between them, Vnto her. He gaw the establishment of Egypt, made her of Lower Syria, Cyprus Lydia absolute queen. Chapter 1000. This in the public eye. Chapter 100. Isar, ith common showplace where they exercise. His sons hither proclaimed the King of Kings. Great Media, Parthia and Armenia. He gaw to Alexander, to Ptolemy he assigned Syria, Cilicia and Phoenicia, she. Chapter 1. Habiliments of the goddess Isis. That day appeared, and oft before Gaw audience, as T's reported so. Chapter 1000. Let Rome be thus informed. Agree, who queasy with his insolence already. Will their good thoughts call from him? Chapter 100. Isar, the people knows it. And Ha now received his accusations. Agree, who does he accuse? Chapter 100. Isar, Caesar and that hoeing in Sicily. Sextus Pompeius spoiled, we had not rated him. His partoth isle, then does he say he lent me. Some shipping Vien restored, lastly he frets. That Lepidus of the triumvirate should be deposed. And being that, we detain all his revenue. Agree, sir, this should be answered. Chapter 100. Isar, T's done already and the messenger gone. Chapter 1. Ha told him Lepidus was grown too cruel, that he is high authority abuzzed, and did deserve his change, for what I ha conquered. Chapter 1. Grant him part, but then in his Armenia, and other of his conquered kingdoms, I demand the like. Chapter 1000. He'll newer yield to that. Chapter 100. Eyes nor must not then be yielded to in this. Enter Octoia with her train. Octa, hail Caesar and my hail most dear Caesar. Chapter 100. Isar, that you or I should call thee cast away. Octa, you ha not called me so, nor ha you cause. Chapter 100. Eyes why ha you staln vipon versus thus, you come not. Chapter 51. Key Caesar's sister, the wife of Antony, should ha an army for Invishur, and the nays of horse to tell of her approach. Chapter 50. Ere she did appear, the trees byth way, should ha born men, and expectation fainted. Chapter 50. Onging for what it had not, nay the dust, should ha ascended to the roof of Hoenn, raised by your populous troops, but you are come. A market made to Rome, and ha prewented the ostentation of our Lao, which left Vien Shun. Chapter 1. Often left Vien lewd, we should ha met you. By sea and land, supplying Uri stay. With an augmented greeting. Octa, good my lord. To come thus was I not constrained, but did it. On my free will, my lord Mark Antony. Hearing that you prepared for war, acquainted. Chapter 1000. Why grieved ear withal, whereon I begged his pardon for return. Chapter 100. Eyes which soon he granted, being an abstract, tween his lust and him. Octa, do not say so, my lord. Chapter 100. Eyes I ha eyes vipon him, and his affairs come to me on the wind, where is he now? Octa, my lord in Athens. Chapter 100. Isar, know my most wronged sister, Cleopatra, hath knotted him to her, he hath Jew in his empire. Chapter 5. To whore who now are looing. The king's oath earth for war, he hath assembled. Bacchus the king of Libya, Archelaus. Of Cappadocia, Philadelpho's king. Of Paphlagonia, the Thracian king Adullus. King Manchus of Arabia, king of Pont. Herod of Uri, Mithridates king. Of Comajat, Polman and Amyntas. the kings of Mede and Laconia, with a more larger list of scepters. Octa, I me most wretched, that ha my heart parted betwixt two friends, that does afflict each other. Chapter 100. Eyes welcome hither, your letters did withhold our breaking. Fourth, till we pursued both how you were wrong led, and we in negligent danger, cheer your heart. Be you not troubled with the time, which drews, or your content, these strong necessities, but let determined things to destiny hold and bewailed their way. Welcome to Rome. Nothing more dear to me, you are abuzed, beyond the mark of thought, and the high gods. To do you justice, makes his ministers, of these and those that low you, best of comfort. And you're welcome to these. Agrip, welcome lady. Chapter 1000. Ec, welcome dear madam. Each heart in Rome does low and pity you. Onely th, adulterous Antony, most large. Chapter 1. And his abominations turns you off. And Jews his potent regiment to a trull. That noises it against versus. Octa, is it so, sir? Chapter 100. Eyes most certain, sister welcome, pray you. Be you are known to patience, my dearsty sister. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra and Enobarbus. Chapter 150. Io, I will be ewen with thee, doubt it not. Eno, but why? Chapter 150. Io, thou hast forspoke my being in these wars, and say'st it is not fit. Eno, well, is it? Chapter 150. Io, if not denounced against these, why should not we be there in person? Enob, well, I could reply, if we should seru with horse and mares together, the horse were merely lost. The mares would bear a soldier and his horse. Chapter 150. Io, what is't you say? Enob, your presence needs must puzzle Antony. Take from his heart, take from his brain, from's time. What should not then be sparred, he is already. Traduct for Luity, and tease said in Rome. That foughtiness and eunuch, and your maids. Chapter 1000. Anage this war. Chapter 150. Io, sink Rome and their tongues rot. That speak against versus, a charge we bear ith war. And as the president of my kingdom, appear there for a man, speak not against it. Chapter 1. Will not stay behind. Enter Antony and Comidias. Eno, nay I ha done, here comes the emperor. Ant, is it not strange Comidius? That from Tarentum and Brandusium. He could so quickly cut the Ionian Sea. And take in Troyne, you ha heard aunt sweet. Chapter 150. Io, celerity is newer more admired than by the negligent. Ant, a good rebuke, which might ha well become the best of men. To taunt at slackness, Comidius we will fight with him by sea. Chapter 150. Io, by sea what else? Chapter 100. Why will my lord do so? Ant, for that he dares versus toot. Enob, so hath my lord dared him to single fight. Chapter 100. Ay, and to wage this battle at Pharsalia, where Caesar fought with Pompey, but these offers, which seru not for his vantage, he shakes off. And so should you. Enob, your ships are not well manned. Your mariners are militars, reapers, people. Chapter 1. Engrossed by swift impress, in Caesar's fleet, are those that often ha gainst Pompey fought. Their ships are yours hoey, no disgrace shall fall you for refusing him at sea, being prepared for land. Ant, by sea. Eno, most worthy sir, you therein throw away the absolute soldiership you ha by land. Chapter 501. Stract your army, which doth most consist of war-marked footmen, low veen executed. Your own renowned knowledge, quite forego. The way which promises assurance, and GUVP yourself, merely to chance and hazard. from firm security. Ant, I'll fight at sea. Chapter 150, Eo, I haw 60 sails, Caesar none better. Ant, our hour plus of shipping will we burn. And with the rest full manned, from th head of action. Beat th approaching Caesar, but if we fail, we then can do't at land. Enter a messenger. Thy business. Chapter 1000, Ease, the news is true, my lord, he is disgrayed. Chapter 100, Esar has taken Taurine. Ant, can he be there in person? 'Tis impossible. Strange that his power should be, Camidius. Our 19 legions thou shalt hold by land, and our 12,000 horse, wheeled to our ship. Away, my Thetis. Enter a soldier. How now, worthy soldier? Soul, O noble emperor, do not fight by sea. Trust not to rotten planks, do you misdoubt? This sword and these my wounds, let th Egyptians and the Phoenicians go a-ducking, we ha viest to conquer standing on the earth, and fighting foot to foot. Ant, well away. Exit Ant, Cleo, and Enob. Soul, by Hercules I think I am right. Chapter 100, A.M., soldier thou art, but his whole action grows. Not in the power on't, so our leaders lead. And we are women's men's. Soul, you keep by land the legions and the horse. Hold you not. Chapter 5, N. Marcus Octoius, Marcus Eustius. Publicola and Celius are for sea. But we keep whole by land, this speed of Caesar's. Chapter 100, Arise beyond belief. Soul, while he was yet in Rome, his power went out in such distractions as beguiled all spies. Chapter 100, A.M., who's his lieutenant, hear you? Soul, they say one Taurus. Chapter 100, M. Well, I know the man. Enter a messenger. Chapter 1000, Ease, the Emperor calls Camidius. Chapter 100, A.M., with news the times with labor, and throws forth each minute some. Exeunt. Enter Caesar with his army, marching. Chapter 100, Eyes Taurus. Toe, my lord. Chapter 100, Eyes strike not by land. Keep whole, progue not bagel. Till we haw done at sea, do not exceed. The prescript of this scroll, our fortune lies. Chapter 5, Pawn this eump. Enter Antony and Enobarbus. Ant, set we our squadrons on yond side oath hill. Chapter 1, An eye of Caesar's battle from which place we may the number of the ships behold, and so proceed accordingly. Enter. Chapter 100, Amidius marcheth with his land army one way o'er the stage, and Taurus the lieutenant of Caesar the other way. After their going in, is heard the noise of a sea fight. Alarum, enter Enobarbus and Scarus. Eno, not I'll not, I can behold no longer. Thantoniad, the Egyptian admiral, with all their 60 fly, and turn the rudder. To seat, mine eyes are blasted. Enter Scarus. Scar, gods and goddesses, all the whole synod of them. Eno, what's thy passion? Scar, the greater cantle of the world is lost. With very ignorance, we haw kissed away kingdoms and provinces. Eno, how appears the fight? Scar, on our side like the token pestilence, where death is sure, yon ribodrid nag of Egypt, whom leprosy a retake, ath midst oath fight. When vantage like a pair of twins appeared, both as the same, or rather ours the elder. The breeze upon her, like a cow in Eun, hoist sails and flies. Eno, that I beheld. Chapter 1001, Ne eyes did sicken at the sight, and could not. Chapter 1, Ender a further view. Scar, she once being loofed. The noble ruin of her magic, Antony. Chapter 150, Apps on his sea wing, and like a doting mallard. Chapter 50, owing the fight in hate, flies after her. Chapter 1. Newer saw an action of such shame. Experience, manhood, honor near before. Chapter 999. Violate so itself. Enob, Alaki. Enter Chamidius. Chapter 100. Our fortune on the sea is out of breath, and sinks most lamentably. Had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well. Oh, his hawes, you an example for our flight. Chapter 1000. Ost grossly by his own. Enob, are you thereabouts? Why then good night. Chapter 1. Indeed. Chapter 100. Toward Peloponnesus are they fled. Scar, 'tis easy toot. And there I will attend what further comes. Chapter 100. Amid, to Caesar will I render. Chapter 1000. Why legions and my horse, 6 kings already. Show me the way of yielding. Eno, I'll yet follow. The wounded chance of Antony, though my reason sits in the wind against me. Enter Antony with attendants. Ant, hark, the land bids me tread no more vipont. Chapter 1. Tea is a sham to bear me, friends come hither. Chapter 1. Am so lated in the world that I ha lost my way for ewer, I ha a ship. Chapter 50. Aiden with gold take that duide it, fly. And make your peace with Caesar. Omnes fly, not we. Ant, I ha fled myself, and ha instructed cowards to run and show their shoulders, friends be gone. Chapter 1. Ha myself resolute vipon a course, which has no need of you, be gone. Chapter 1000. Why treasures in the harbor, take it, oh. Chapter 1. Followed that I blush to look vipon. Chapter 1000. Why very hairs do mutiny, for the white reprow the brown for rashness, and they them for fear and doting. Friends be gone, you shall ha letters from me to some friends, that will sweep your way for you, pray you look not sad, nor make replies of lothness, take the hint which my despair proclaims, let them be left, which lows itself to the seaside straightway. Chapter 1. Will possess you of that ship and treasure. Chapter 50. O me, I pray a little, pray you now. Nay, do so, for indeed I ha lost command. Therefore I pray you, I'll see you by and by. Sits down. Enter Cleopatra, led by Charmian and Eros. Eros, nay, gentle madam, to him comfort him. Chapter 1. Raz, do most dear queen. Chapter 100. Har, do why what else? Chapter 150. Eo, let me sit down, oh you know. Ant, no. Eros, see you here, sir. Ant, oh fi. Chapter 100. Har, madam. Chapter 1. Raz, madam, oh good empress. Eros, sir. Ant, yes my lord, yes, he at Philippi kept his sword end like a dancer, while I strook the lean and wrinkled Cassius, and 'twas I that the mad Brutus ended, he alone. Chapter 500. Ealt on lieutenantry and no practice had. Chapter 1. In the braw squares of war, yet now, no matter. Chapter 150. Eo, stand by. Eros, the queen my lord, the queen. Chapter 1. Raz, go to him madam, speak to him. He's bien qualityed with very shame. Chapter 150. Eo, well then sustain me, oh. Eros, most noble sir, arise, the queen approaches. Her head's declined, and death will seize her, but your comfort makes the rescue. Ant, I ha offended reputation. A most bien noble swearing. Eros, sir, the queen. Ant, oh whither hast thou lead me, Egypt, see how I canoe my shame out of thine eyes. By looking backy, what I ha left behind, stroyed in dishonor. Chapter 150. Eo, O my lord, my lord. Forge you my fearful sails, I little thought you would ha followed. Ant, Egypt, thou knew'st too well, Chapter 1000. Why heart was to thy rudder tied by strings. And thou shouldst tow me after, or my spirit. The full supremacy thou knewst, and that thy beck might from the bidding of the gods. Chapter 100. And me. Chapter 150. Oh my pardon. And now I must to the young man send humble treaties, dodge, and palter in the shifts of loans, who with half the bulk oath world plaid as I pleased. Chapter 1000. Aching and marring fortunes, you did know how much you were my conqueror, and that. Chapter 1000. Why sword, made weak by my affection, would abate on all cause. Chapter 150. Pardon, pardon. And, fall not a tear I say, one of them rates all that is won and lost, give me a kiss. You and this repays me. We send our schoolmaster, is a come backy. Chapter 50. I am full of lead, some wine. Within there and our viands, fortune knows. We scorn her most, when most she offers blows. Exeunt. Enter Caesar, Agrippa and Delabelo with others. Chapter 100. Eyes let him appear that's come from Antony. Know you him? Chapter 500. Allah, Caesar, tease his schoolmaster. An argument that he is plucked, when hither he sends so poor opinion of his wing, which had superfluous kings for messengers. Not many moons gone by. Enter ambassador from Antony. Chapter 100. Isar, approach and speak. Am, such as I am, I come from Antony. Chapter 1. Was of late as petty to his ends as is the morndew on the myrtle leaf to his grand sea. Chapter 100. Eyes beat so, declare thine office. Am, lord of his fortunes, he salutes thee, and requires to leave you in Egypt, which not granted. He lessens his requests, and to thee sues to let him breath between the hoens and earth. A prewate man in Athens, this for him. Next, Cleopatra does confess thy greatness, submits her to thy might, and of thee craws the circle of the Ptolemies for her hairs, now hazarded to thy grace. Chapter 100. Eyes for Antony. Chapter 1. Ha no ears to his request, the queen of audience, nor desire shall fail, so she from Egypt drew her all disgraced friend, or take his life there. This if she perform, she shall not sue Vien heard, so to them both. Am, fortune pursue thee. Chapter 100. Eyes bring him through the bands. To try thy eloquence, now 'tis time dispatch. From Antony win Cleopatra, promise. And in our name, what she requires add more. From thine inuntion offers, women are not. Chapter 1. And their best fortunes strong, but want will perior. The near touched Vestal, try thy cunning Thydias. Chapter 1000. Ache thine own edict for thy pains, which we will answer as a law. Thid, Caesar, I go. Chapter 100. Isar, observe how Antony becomes his flaw, and what thou think'st his very action speaks. Chapter 1. And Uri power that muyus. Thid, Caesar, I shall. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Enobarbus, Charmian, and Eras. Chapter 150. What shall we do, Enobarbus? Eno, think and die. Chapter 150. Is Antony or we in fault for this? Eno, Antony only, that would make his will. Chapter 50. Ord of his reason, what though you fled from that great face of war, whose Surall ranges frighted each other, why should he follow? The itch of his affection should not then ha nicked his captainship at such a point, when half to half the world opposed, he being the mirrored question, 'twas a shame no less. Then was his loss, to course your flying flag is, and lo his nigh gazing. Chapter 150. Prithee peace. Enter the ambassador, with Antony. Ant, is that his answer? Am, I my lord. Ant, the queen shall then ha courtesy. So she will yield versus VP. Am, he says so. Antho, let her note. To the boy Caesar send this grizzled head, and he will fill thy wishes to the brim with principalities. Chapter 150, Eo, that head my lord. Ant, to him again tell him he wears the rose of youth vpon him, from which the world should note something particular, his coin ships legions. Chapter 1000, I be a cowards whose ministers would preul. Chapter 5, ender the Ceruis of a child as soon as I'th command of Caesar, I dare him therefore to lay his gay comparisons apart, and answer me declined, sword against sword. Arcellus alone, I'll write it, follow me. Eno, yes like enough, high-battled Caesar. Chapter 5, end state is happiness, and be stagged toth show. Against a sworder, I see men's judgments are a parcel of their fortunes, and things outward. Chapter 500, O draw the inward quality after them, to suffer all alike, that he should dream. Knowing all measures, the full Caesar will answer his emptiness, Caesar thou hast subdud. His judgment too. Enter a Saruant. Sir, a messenger from Caesar. Chapter 150, Eo, what no more ceremony, see my women. Against the blown rose may they stop their nose. That kneeled vnto the buds, admit him, sir. Eno, mine honesty and I begin to square. The loyalty well held to fools, does make our faith mere folly, yet he that can endure to follow with allegiance a fowny lord. Chapter 500, O's conquer him that did his master conquer, and earns a place oth story. Enter Thydias. Chapter 150, Eo, Caesar's will. Thyd, hear it apart. Chapter 150, Eo, none but friends, say boldly. Thyd, so haply are they friends to Antony. Enob, he needs as many, sir, as Caesar has. Or needs not versus if Caesar please, our master will leap to be his friend, for viz you know whose he is, we are, and that is Caesar's. Thyd, so, thus then thou most renowned, Caesar entreats not to consider in what case thou standst further than he is Caesar's. Chapter 150, Eo, go on right royal. Thyd, he knows that you embrace not Antony as you did Lau, but as you feared him. Chapter 150, Eo, O. Thyd, the scars vpon your honor, therefore he. Chapter 500, O's pity as constrained blemishes, not as deserved. Chapter 150, Eo, he is a god, and knows what is most right, mine honor was not yielded, but conquered merely. Eno, to be sure of that I will ask Antony. Sir, thou art so leaky that we must low thee to thy sinking, for thy dearest quit thee. Exit Enob. Thyd, shall I say to Caesar what you require of him, for he partly begs to be desired to Geo, it much would please him. That of his fortunes you should make a staff to lean vpon, but it would warm his spirits to hear from me you had left Antony, and put yourself under his shroud, the vini whistle landlord. Chapter 150, Eo, what's your name? Thyd, my name is Thydias. Chapter 150, Eo, most kind messenger. Say to great Caesar this in disputation. Chapter 1, kiss his conquering hand, tell him I am prompt to lay my crown at's feet, and there to kneel. Tell him, from his all-obeying breath I hear the doom of Egypt. Thyd, tease your noblest course, wisdom and fortune combating together. Chapter 1, F that the former dare but what it can, no chance may shake it, Giumi graceful. Chapter 1000, why duty on your hand? Chapter 150, Eo, your Caesar's father oft, when he hath must of taking kingdoms in, bestowed his lips on that VN-worthy place. As it rained kisses. Enter Antony and Enobarbus. Ant fours, by Io that thunders, what art thou, fellow? Thid, one that but performs the bidding of the fullest man, and worthiest. To ha command obeyed. Eno, you will be whipped. Ant aproc there, you kite, now gods and deols. Authority melts from me of late, when I cried Hoa. Chapter 51. Key boys vnto amus, kings would start forth. And cry your will, ha you no ears. Chapter 1. Anthony yet, take hence this Iac and whip him. Enter a Saruant. Eno, 'tis better playing with a lion's whelp than with an old one dying. Ant, moon and stars. Whip him, were't 20 of the greatest tributaries that do acknowledge Caesar, should I find them. So saucy with the hand of she here, what's her name? Since she was Cleopatra, whip him fellows, till like a boy you see him cringe his face. And whine aloud for mercy, take him hence. Thid, mark Antony. Ant, tug him away, being whipped. Bring him again, the Iaci of Caesar's. Bear versus and errant to him. Exeunt with Thidius. You were half blasted ere I knew you, ha. Ha I my pillow left Vienne pressed in Rome. Forborn the getting of a lawful race. And by a eam of women, to be abused. By one that looks on feeders. Chapter 150, Eo, good my lord. Ant, you ha been a boggler ewer. But when we in our viciousness grow hard. O misery on't, the wise gods seal our eyes. Chapter 1. In our own filth drop our clear judgments make V's. Adore our errors, laugh at's while we strut. To our confusion. Chapter 150, Eo, oh, is't come to this. Ant, I found you as a morsel cold vipon. Chapter 500, Ead Caesar's trencher, nay, you were a fragment. Of Gnaeus Pompey's, besides what hotter hours. Chapter 5, Registered in vulgar fame you ha. Chapter 50, uxuriously picked out, for I am sure. Though you can guess what temperance should be. You know not what it is. Chapter 150, Eo, wherefore is this? Ant, to let a fellow that will take rewards. And say, God quit you, be familiar with. Chapter 1000, why play fellow your hand, this kingly seal? And plater of high hearts, oh that I were. Chapter 5, pon the hill of Bassan to outroar. The horned herd, for I ha soige cause. And to proclaim it seuli were like. A haltered neck, which does the hangman thank. For being yare about him, is he whipped. Enter a Saruant with Thidias. Sir, soundly my lord. Ant, cried he, and begged a pardon. Sir, he did ask for. Ant, if that thy father Liu, let him repent. Thou wast not made his daughter, and be thou sorry. To follow Caesar in his triumph, since thou hast been whipped, for following him henceforth. The white hand of a lady forward thee. Shake thou to look on't, get thee back to Caesar. Tell him thy entertainment, look thou say. He makes me angry with him, for he seems proud and disdainful, harping on what I am. Not what he knew I was, he makes me angry. And at this time most easy 'tis to do't. When my good stars, that were my former guides, ha empty left their orbs, and shot their fires. Chapter 1, and toth abyss me of hell, if he mislike. Chapter 1000, why speech and what is done tell him he has. Hipparchus, my enfranched bondman, whom he may at pleasure whip, or hang, or torture. As he shall like to quit me, vrge it thou. Hence with thy stripes be gone. Exit Thid. Chapter 150, Eo, ha you done yet? Ant, alacky our terrene moon is now eclipsed. And it portends alone the fall of Antony. Chapter 150, Eo, I must stay his time. Ant, to flatter Caesar would you mingle eyes with one that ties his points. Chapter 150, Eo, not know me yet. Ant, cold-hearted toward me. Chapter 150, Eo, ah dear if I be so. From my cold heart, let Hoenn engender hail, and poison it in the sours, and the first stone. Chapter 500, Rop in my neck, as it determines so. Chapter 501, Es solu my life, the next Caesarean smile, till by degrees the memory of my wam, together with my braw Egyptians all, by the discandering of this pelleted storm. Chapter 50, Ye groyless, till the flies and gnats of Nile ha buried them for prey. Ant, I am satisfied. Chapter 100, Esar sets down in Alexandria where. Chapter 1, will oppose his fate, our force by land, hath nobly held, our Seward nigh too. Ha knit again, and fleet threatening most sea-like. Where hast thou been my heart, dost thou hear, lady? Chapter 1, F from the field I shall return once more. To kiss these lips, I will appear in blood. Chapter 1, and my sword will earn our chronicle. There's hope in yet. Chapter 150, Eo, that's my braw lord. Ant, I will be treble-sinewed, hearted, breathed, and fight maliciously, for when mine hours were nice and lucky, men did ransom lius of me for easts, but now I'll set my teeth and send to darken us all that stop me. Come. Chapter 50, Ets ha one other gaudy night, call to me. All my sad captains, fill our bowls once more. Chapter 50, Ets mock the midnight bell. Chapter 150, Eo, it is my birthday. Chapter 1, had thought Teha held it poor, but since my lord. Chapter 1, S. Antony again I will be Cleopatra. Ant, we will yet do well. Chapter 150, Eo, call all his noble captains to my lord. Ant, do so we'll speak to them. And tonight I'll force the wine peep through their scars. Chapter 100, Oman my queen. There's sap in't yet, the next time I do fight. Chapter 49, make death low me, for I will contend. Ewan with his pestilent scythe. Exeunt. Eno, now he'll outstare the lightning to be furious. Chapter 1, S to be frighted out of fear and in that mood. The Dow will peck the estrage, and I see still a diminution in our captain's brain. Restores his heart, when valor prays in reason. Chapter 1, T eats the sword it fights with, I will seek some way to low him. Exeunt. Enter Caesar, Agrippa and Maecenas with his army, Caesar reading a letter. Chapter 100, Icy calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt, my messenger. He hath whipped with rods, dares me to personal combat. Chapter 100, Esar to Antony, let the old ruffian know. Chapter 1, how many other ways to die, meantime. Chapter 50, awe at his challenge. Chapter 1000, S. Caesar must think. When one so great begins to rage, he's hunted. Ewan to falling, Gew him no breath but. Chapter 1000, Ache boot of his distraction, newer anger. Chapter 1000, a de good guard for itself. Chapter 100, Eyes let our best heads know that tomorrow, the last of many battles, we mean to fight, within our files there are of those that serried Mark Antony but late enough to fetch him in, see it done, and feast the army, we ha store to do't, and they ha earned the waste, poor Antony. Exeunt. Enter Antony, Cleopatra, Enobarbus, Charmian, Eras, Alexas, with others. Ant, he will not fight with me, Domitian. Eno, no. Ant, why should he not? Eno, he thinks, being 20 times of better fortune, he is 20 men to 1. Ant, tomorrow soldier. By sea and land I'll fight, or I will liu, or bathe my dying honor in the blood. Shall make it liu again, woot thou fight well. Eno, I'll strike and cry, take all. Ant, well said, come on. Chapter 100. All forth my household Saruants, let's tonight. Enter 3 or 4 Saroters. Be bounteous at our meal, giu me thy hand. Thou hast been rightly honest, so hast thou. Thou and thou and thou, you ha serud me well. And kings ha been your fellows. Chapter 150. Eo, what means this? Eno, 'tis one of those odd tricks which sorrow shoots out of the mind. Ant, and thou art honest too. Chapter 1. Wish I could be made so many men. And all of you clapped VP together. And Antony, that I might do you Sarowis. So good as you ha done. Omnes, the gods forbid. Ant, well my good fellows, wait on me tonight. Scant not my cups, and make as much of me as when mine empire was your fellow too, and suffered my command. Chapter 150. Eo, what does he mean? Eno, to make his followers weep. Ant, tend me tonight. Chapter 1000. It is the period of your duty. Haply you shall not see me more, or if a mangled shadow, perchance tomorrow, you'll sorrow another master, I look on you as one that takes his low, mine honest friends. Chapter 1. Turn you not away, but like a master. Chapter 1000. A ride to your good Sarowis, stay till death. Tend me tonight 2 hours, I ask no more. And the gods yield you fort. Eno, what mean you, sir? To giu them this discomfort, look they weep. And I in a se am onion-eyed, for shame. Transform verses not to women. Ant, ho ho ho. Now the witch take me, if I meant it thus. Grace grow where those drops fall, my hearty friends. You take me in too dolorous a sense. For I spake to you for your comfort, did desire you to burn this night with torches, know my hearts. Chapter 1. Hope well of tomorrow and will lead you where rather I'll expect victorious life. Then death and honor, let's to supper come, and drown consideration. Exeunt. Enter a company of soldiers. 1 Saul, brother, good night, tomorrow is the day. 2 Saul, it will determine one way, fare you well. Heard you of nothing strange about the streets? 1 Nothing, what news? 2 Belike 'tis but a rumor, good night to you. 1 Well, sir, good night. They meet other soldiers. 2 Soldiers, ha careful watch. 1 And you, good night, good night. They place themselves in ewery corner of the stage. 2 Here we, and if tomorrow are nigh 3 you, I ha an absolute hope our landmen will stand VP. 1 'Tis a braw army, and full of purpose. Chapter 1000. Music of the haboys is ender the stage. 2 Peace, what noise? 1 List. 2 Hark. 1 Music I there. 3 ender the earth. 4 It signs well, does it not? 3 No. 1 Peace I say, what should this mean? 2 Tease the god Hercules, whom Antony loud. Now lows walk, let's see if other watchmen. Chapter 500. Oh, hear what we do. 2 How now, maesters? Speak together. Omnes, how now, do you hear this? 1 I, is not strange. 3 Do you hear, masters, do you hear? 1 Follow the noise, so far as we ha quarter. Chapter 50. Let's see how it will you off. Omnes, content, tease strange. Exeunt. Enter Antony and Cleopatra, with others. Ant, Eros, mine armor Eros. Chapter 150. Eo, sleep a little. Ant, no my chuck. Eros, come mine armor Eros. Enter Eros. Chapter 100. Good fellow, put thine iron on. Chapter 1. If fortune be not ours today, it is because we braw her, come. Chapter 150. Eo, nay, I'll help too, Antony. What's this for? Let be thou art the armorer of my heart, false, this. Sooth law I'll help, thus it must be. Ant, Well, well, we shall free you now. Cease thou, my good fellow. Go, put on thy defences. Eros, briefly, sir. Chapter 150, Io, is not this buckled well? Ant, rarely, rarely. He that vn buckles this, till we do please. To daft for our repose, shall hear a storm. Thou fumblest Eros, and my queen's a squire. Chapter 1000, or tight at this than thou dispatch, O Lau. That thou couldst see my wars today, and news tea. The royal occupation, thou shouldst see. A workman int. Enter an armed soldier. Good morrow to thee, welcome. Thou look'st like him, that knows a warlike charge. To business that we low, we rise betime. And go to't with delight. Soul, 1,000 sir early thote be, haw on there. Rewitted trim, and at the port expect you. Shout, trumpets flourish, enter captains and soldiers. Alex, the morn is fair, good morrow general. All, good morrow general. Ant, tease well-blown lads. This morning, like the spirit of a youth. That means to be of note, begins betimes. So, come you me that this way well said. Fare thee well, dame, whate'er becomes of me. This is a soldier's kiss, rebukable. And worthy shameful check it were, to stand. On more mechanic compliment, I'll loe thee. Now like a man of steel, you that will fight. Follow me close, I'll bring you to't, adieu. Exeunt. Chapter 100, Har, please you retire to your chamber. Chapter 150, Io, lead me. He goes forth gallantly, that he and Caesar might. Chapter 500, Ederman this great war in single fight. Then Antony, but now, well on. Exeunt. Trumpets sound, enter Antony and Eros. Eros, the gods make this a happy day to Antony. Ant, would thou, and those thy scars had once preuled, to make me fight at land. Eros, hadst thou done so. The kings that ha ruled, and the soldier that has this morning left thee, would ha still followed thy heels. Ant, who's gone this morning. Eros, who, 1 year near thee, call for Anabarbus. He shall not hear thee, or from Caesar's camp. Say I am none of thine. Ant, what sayest thou? Sold, sir, he is with Caesar. Eros, sir, his chests and treasure he has not with him. Ant, is he gone? Sol, most certain. Ant, go Eros, send his treasure after, do it. Chapter 500, Ete no iat I charge thee, write to him. I will subscribe, gentle adieus and greetings. Say, that I wish he knew or find more cause to change a master, O my fortune's haw. Chapter 100, Orupted honest men, dispatch Anabarbus. Exit. Flourish, enter Agrippa, Caesar with Anabarbus and Dolabella. Chapter 100, Eyes go forth Agrippa and begin the fight. Our will is Antony betook Aliu. Chapter 1000, Ake it so known. Agripp, Caesar I shall. Chapter 100, Isar, the time of Venius all peace is near. Prow this a prosperous day, the three-nooked world shall bear the Oliu freely. Enter a messenger. Chapter 1000, Ease, Antony is come into the field. Chapter 100, Eyes go charge Agrippa. Plant those that ha ruled in the vant, that Antony may seem to spend his fury. Chapter 5, Pawn himself. Exeunt. Enob, Alexis did ruled and went to Urion. Affairs of Antony, there did dissuade. Great Herod to incline himself to Caesar. And lo his master Antony, for this pains. Chapter 100, Isar hath hanged him, Commindius and the rest. That fell away, ha entertainment but no honorable trust, I ha done ill. Of which I do accuse myself so sorely, that I will no more. Enter a soldier of Caesar's. Saul, Anabarbus Antony. hath after thee sent all thy treasure, with his bounty hour plus, the messenger. Chapter 100. Aim on my guard, and at thy tent is now. Chapter 5. End loading of his mules. Eno, I jew at you. Saul, mock not in Aberbis. Chapter 1. Tell you true, best you Saf the bringer. Out of the host, I must attend mine office. Or would ha don't myself, your emperor. Chapter 100. Antony's still Io. Exit. Enob, I am alone the villain of the earth. And feel I am so most, O Antony. Thou mine of bounty, how wouldst thou ha paid? Chapter 1000. Why better Cerois when my turpitude? Thou dost so crown with gold, this blows my heart. Chapter 1. F swift thought break it not, a swifter mean. Shall outstrike thought, but thought will do't, I feel. Chapter 1. Fight against thee, no I will go seek some ditch wherein to die, the foulsty best fits. Chapter 1000. Why latter part of life? Enter. Alarum, drums and trumpets, enter Agrippa. Agripp, retire, we hawing gagged ourselves too far. Chapter 100. Esar himself ha's work and our oppression exceeds what we expected. Enter. Alarums, enter Antony and Scarus wounded. Scar, O my braw emperor, this is fought indeed. Had we done so at first, we had drowned them home, with clouts about their heads. Far off. Ant, thou bleedst apace. Scar, I had a wound here that was like a T, but now 'tis made an H. Ant, they do retire. Scar, we'll beat 'em into bench holes, I haw yet. Room for 6 scotches more. Enter Eros. Eros, they are beaten, sir, and are aduentage Cerus. For a fair victory. Scar, let V's score their backs. And snatch 'em VP, as we take hares behind. T's sport to maul a runner. Ant, I will reward thee. Once for thy sprightly comfort, and tenfold. For thy good valor, come thee on. Scar, I'll halt after. Exeunt. Alarum, enter Antony Agin in a march, Scarus with others. Ant, we ha beat him to his camp, run one. Before and let the queen know of our guests, tomorrow. Before the sun shall cease, we'll spill the blood. That ha's today escaped, I thank you all. For doughty-handed are you, and ha fought. Not as you sarrowed the cause, but asked had been. Each man's like mine, you ha shewn all Hector's. Enter the city, clip your weus, your friends. Tell them your feats, whilst they with eye-full tears. Wash the congealment from your wounds, and kiss the honored gashes whole. Enter Cleopatra. Giu me thy hand. To this great fairy, I'll commend thy acts. Chapter 1000. Acre thanks bless thee, O thou day oath world. Chapter 100. Hain mine armed neck, leap thou, attire and all. Through proof of harness to my heart, and there ride on the pants triumphing. Chapter 150. Io, Lord of Lords. O infinite virtue, com'st thou smiling from the world's great snare being caught. Ant, my nightingale. We ha beat them to their beds. What Geel though grey. Chapter 500. O something mingle with our younger brown, yet ha we a brain that nourishes our narrows, and can get goal for goal of youth. Behold this man. Chapter 100. Almond Vnto his lips thy foreing hand. Kiss it my warrior, he hath fought today, as if a god in hate of mankind had. Chapter 500. Estroid in such a shape. Chapter 150. Io, I'll giu thee friend. An armor all of gold, it was a king's. Ant, he has deserved it were it carbuncled. Chapter 51. Key holy Phoebus car, giu me thy hand. Through Alexandria make a Iali march. Bear our hacked targets, like the men that owe them. Had our great palace the capacity to camp this host, we all would sup together. and drink carozes to the next day's fate, which promises royal peril, trumpeters. With brazen din blast you the city's ear. Chapter 1000. Ake mingle with our rattling tabourines, that Hohen and earth may strike their sounds together, applauding our approach. Exeunt. Enter a century, and his company Enobarbus follows. Chapter 100. Ent, if we be not relieved within this hour, we must return Toth, court of guard, the night. Chapter 1. S shiny, and they say we shall embattle. Byth second hour ith morn. One watch, this last day was a shrewd one twos. Enob, O bear me witness night. 2. What man is this? 1. Stand close and list him. Enob, be witness to me, O thou blessed moon. When men ruled shall Vipon record. Bear hateful memory, poor Enobarbus did. Before thy face repent. Chapter 100. Ent, Enobarbus. 2. Peace, hark further. Enob, O sour rainy mistress of true melancholy. The poisonous damp of night dispunge, Vipon me. That life, a very rebel to my will. Chapter 1000. I hang no longer on me, throw my heart against the flint and hardness of my fault, which being dried with grief, will break to powder, and finish all foul thoughts, O Antony. Nobler than my ruled is infamous. Forge you me in thine own particular, but let the world rank me in register. A master lower, and a fugitive. O Antony, O Antony. One, let's speak to him. Chapter 100. Ent, let's hear him for the things he speaks. Chapter 1000. I concern Caesar. 2. Let's do so, but he sleeps. Chapter 100. Ent, swoons rather for so bad a prayer as his. Was newer yet for sleep. 1. Go we to H. Awake, sir. Awake, speak to V's. 1. Hear you, sir. Sent, the hand of death hath wrought him. Chapter 500. Rums afar off. Hark the drums, demurely wake the sleepers. Chapter 50. At V's bear him Toth, court of guard, he is of note. Our hour is fully out. 2. Come on then, he may recower yet. Exeunt. Enter Antony and Scarus, with their army. Ant, their preparation is today by sea. We please them not by land. Scar, for both my lord. Ant, I would thald fight ith fire or ith air. We'ld fight there too, but this it is our foot. Chapter 5. Pon the hills adjoining to the city. Shall stay with versus order for sea is genuine. They ha put forth the Hohen, where their appointment we may best discover, and look on their endure. Exeunt. Enter Caesar and his army. Chapter 100. Eyes but being charged, we will be still by land, which as I tact we shall, for his best force. Chapter 1. S forth to man his galleys, to the vales, and hold our best advantage. Exeunt. Alarum afar off, as at a sea fight, enter Antony and Scarus. Ant, yet they are not eined. Where yond pine does stand, I shall discover all. Chapter 49. Bring thee word straight, how 'tis like to go. Enter. Scar, swallows ha built. Chapter 1. Cleopatra's sails their nests, the auguries. Say they know not, they cannot tell, look grimly, and dare not speak their knowledge, Antony. Chapter 1. S valiant and dejected and by starts. His fretted fortunes due him hope and fear, of what he has and has not. Enter Antony. Ant, all is lost. This foul Egyptian hath betrayed me. Chapter 1000. Why fleet hath yielded to the foe, and yonder they cast their caps VP, and carows together. Chapter 51. Key friends long lost, triple turned whore, tease thou hast sold me to this newess, and my heart. Chapter 1000. Aches onely wars on thee, bid them all fly, for when I am ruinged Vipon my charm. Chapter 1. Hot and all, bid them all fly, be gone. O sun, thy V-prize shall I see no more. Fortune and Antony part here, you and here. Chapter 500. Oh, we shake hands, all come to this, the hearts. That panelled me at heels, to whom I gaw. Their wishes, do discandy melt their sweets. On blossoming Caesar, and this pine is barked. That hour topped them all, betrayed I am. Oh, this false soul of Egypt, this gras charm, whose eye becked forth my wars, and called them home, whose bosom was my crownet, my chief end. Chapter 51. Kia right gypsy hath it fast and loose, beguiled me to the very heart of loss. What Eros, Eros? Enter Cleopatra. Ah, thou spell, aunt. Chapter 150. Io, why is my lord enragged against his low? Aunt, vanish, or I shall jew thee thy deserving. And blemish Caesar's triumph, let him take thee, and hoist thee VP to the shouting plebeians. Follow his chariot, like the greatest spot. Of all thy sex, most monster-like be shewn. For porsti diminutives, for dolts and let. Patient Octoya, plough thy visage VP. With her prepared nails. Exit Cleopatra. T's well th art gone. Chapter 1. If it be well to Liu, but better tweer. Thou fell'st into my fury, for one death. Chapter 1001. Ght ha pruentade many, eros hoa. The shirt of Nessus is vpon me, teach me. Alcides, thou mine ancestor, thy rage. Chapter 50. Et me lodge Lycas on the horns oath moon. And with those hands that grasp the hoiest club, subdue my worthiest self, the witch shall die. To the young Roman boy she hath sold me, and I fall. Chapter 5. Enter this plot she dies fort, eros hoa. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Eras, Mardian. Chapter 150. Io, help me my women, oh he's more mad. Then Telamon for his shield, the boar of Thessaly, was newer so embossed. Chapter 100. Har, toth monument there lock yourself, and send him word you are dead. The soul and body re you not more in parting. Then greatness going off. Chapter 150. Io, toth monument. Chapter 1000. Ardian, go tell him I ha slain myself. Say that the last I spoke was Antony. And word it prithee piteously, hence Mardian. And bring me how he takes my death toth, monument. Exeunt. Enter Antony and Eros. Aunt, Eros, thou yet behold'st me. Eros, I noble lord. Aunt, sometime we see a cloud that's dragonish. A vapor sometime, like a bear or lion. A toward citadel, a pendant rock. A forked mountain, or blue promontory. With trees vpont, that nod vnto the world. And mock our eyes with air. Thou hast seen these signs. They are blacky vespers pageants. Eros, I my lord. Aunt, that which is now a horse, ewen with a thought the racky dislimes, and makes it indistinct as water is in water. Eros, it does my lord. Aunt, my good naw Eros, now thy captain is. Ewen such a body, here I am Antony. Yet cannot hold this visible shape, my naw. Chapter 1. Made these wars for Egypt and the queen, whose heart I thought I had, for she had mine, which whilst it was mine, had annexed vn toot. A million moe, now lost, she Eros has. Packed cards with Caesars, and false plaid my glory. Chapter 5. Intio an enemy's triumph. Nay, weep not, gentle Eros, there is left V's. Arcellus to end Arcellus. Enter Mardian. O thy Vilda lady, she has robbed me of my sword. Chapter 1000. R. No Antony, my mistress lewd thee, and her fortunes mingled with thine entirely. Aunt, hence saucy eunuch peace, she hath betrayed me, and shall die the death. Chapter 1000. R. Death of one person can be paid but once, and that she has discharged, what thou wouldst do. Chapter 1. Es done vientio thy hand, the last she spake, was Antony, most noble Antony. Then in the midst a tearing groan did break. The name of Antony, it was de-whited. Between her heart and lips, she tendered life. Thy name so buried in her. Ant, dead then. Chapter 1000, are dead. Ant, venarm eros, the long day's task is done. And we must sleep, that thou depart'st hence safe. Chapter 500, O's pay thy labor richly, go. Exit Mardian. Off pluck off. The sewenfold shield of Ajax cannot keep. The battery from my heart, O clo my sides. Heart, once be stronger than thy continent. Chapter 100, racky thy frail case, apace eros apace. No more a soldier, bruised pieces go. You ha been nobly born, from me a while. Exit eros. Chapter 1, will a retake the Cleopatra and weep for my pardon, so it must be for now. All length is torture, since the torch is out. Chapter 50, ye down and stray no farther, now all labor. Chapter 1000, ours what it does, yea, very force entangles. Chapter 1, self with strength, seal then and all is done. Eros, I come my queen, Eros, stay for me. Where souls do couch on flowers, we'll hand in hand. And with our sprightly port make the ghosts gaze. Chapter 999, oh, and her Aeneas shall want troops. And all the haunt be ours, come Eros, Eros. Enter Eros. Eros, what would my lord? Ant, since Cleopatra died. Chapter 1, ha lewd in such dishonor that the gods. Chapter 500, eatest my baseness, I that with my sword. Quartered the world, and green Neptune's backy. With ships made cities, condemning myself to lackey. The courage of a woman, less noble mind than she which by her death, our Caesar tells. Chapter 1, am conqueror of myself, thou art sworn Eros. That when the exigent should come, which now. Chapter 1, come indeed, when I should see behind me. Immutable prosecution of disgrace and horror. That on my command, thou then wouldst kill me. Chapter 500, the time is come, thou strickst not me. Caesar thou defeat'st, put color in thy cheek. Eros, the gods withhold me. Shall I do that which all the Parthian darts? Though enemy, lost I'm and could not. Ant, Eros. Wouldst thou be windowed in great Rome, and see thy master thus with pleeked arms, bending down, his cordial neck, his face subdued, to penetrate you shame, whilst the wheeled seat of fortunate Caesar drawn before him, branded, his baseness that ensued. Eros, I would not seat. Ant, come then, for with a wound I must be curd. Chapter 500, raw that thy honest sword, which thou hast worn. Chapter 1000, ost visful for thy country. Eros, O sir, pardon me. Ant, when I did make thee free, swerst why not then? To do this when I bade thee, do it at once. Or thy precedent services are all. But accidents vien purposed, draw and come. Eros, turn from me then that noble countenance, wherein the worship of the whole world lies. Ant, lo thee. Eros, my sword is drawn. Ant, then let it do at once the thing why thou hast drawn it. Eros, my dear master. Chapter 1000, why captain and my emperor, let me say, before I strike this bloody stroke, farewell. Ant, said man, and farewell. Eros, farewell great chief, shall I strike now? Ant, now Eros kills himself. Eros, why there then? Thus I do escape the sorrow of Antony's death. Ant, thrice nobler than myself. Thou teachest me, O valiant Eros, what? Chapter 1, should and thou couldst not my queen and Eros. Ha by their braw instruction, got vipon me. A nobleness in record, but I will be a bridegroom in my death, and run in toot. As to a lower's bed, come then and Eros. Thy master dies thy scholar, to do thus. Chapter 1, learn of thee, how not dead, not dead. The guard, how, oh dispatch me. Enter a guard, what's the noise? Aunt, I had in my work ill friends. Oh, make an end of what I ha begun. 2, the star is foully. 1, and time is at his period. All, alas in woe. Aunt, let him that louse me, strike me d not nor anyone. Exeunt. Chapter 500, Ecratus, thy death and fortunes bid thy followers fly. This sword but shewn to Caesar with this tidings shall enter me with him. Enter Diomes. Chapter 501, oh where's Antony? Chapter 500, Echer, there Diomes there. Chapter 501, Leus he, wilt thou not answer man? Aunt, art thou there Diomed? Chapter 500, raw thy sword and giu me. Sufficing strokes for death. Chapter 501, most absolute Lord. Chapter 1000, why Mistress Cleopatra sent me to thee. Aunt, when did she send thee? Chapter 501, now my lord. Aunt, where is she? Chapter 501, locked in her monument, she had a prophesying fear. Of what hath come to pass, for when she saw, which newer shall be found, you did suspect. She had desposed with Caesar, and that your ray would not be purged, she sent you word she was dead. But fearing since how it might work, hath sent. Chapter 1000, to proclaim the truth, and I am come. Chapter 1, dread, too late. Aunt, too late, good Diomed, call my guard, I prithee. Chapter 501, what hoa, the emperor's guard. The guard, what hoa, come your lord calls. Enter 4 or 5 of the guard of Antony. Aunt, bear me good friends where Cleopatra bides. 'Tis the last Cerois that I shall command you. One woe are we, sir, you may not leave you to wear. All your true followers out. All, most holy day. Aunt, nay good my fellows, do not please sharp fate. To grace it with your sorrows, bid that welcome, which comes to punish these, and we punish it. Seeming to bear it lightly, take me VP. Chapter 1, hauled you oft, carry me now good friends. And ha my thanks for all. Exit bearing Antony. Enter Cleopatra, and her maids aloft, with Charmian and Eras. Chapter 150, O Charmian, I will newer go from hence. Chapter 100, Har, be comforted dear madam. Chapter 150, no I will not. All strange and terrible units are welcome. But comforts we despise, our sighs of sorrow, proportion to our cause, must be as great as that which makes it. Enter Diomed. How now, is he dead? Chapter 501, his death's vpon him but not dead. Chapter 50, out oth other side your monument. His guard ha brought him thither. Enter Antony, and the guard. Chapter 150, O son. Burn the great sphere thou moust in, darkling stand. The varying shore oath world, O Antony, Antony, Antony. Help Charmian, help Eras, help friends. Below, let's draw him hither. Aunt, peace. Not Caesar's valor hath overthrown Antony, but Antony's hath triumphed on itself. Chapter 150, so it should be. That none but Antony should conquer Antony. But woe 'tis so. Aunt, I am dying, Egypt's dying, onely. Chapter 1, here importune death awhile until. Of many thousand kisses, the poor last. Chapter 1, lay upon thy lips. Chapter 150, I dare not dear. Chapter 500, ere my lord pardon, I dare not. Chapter 50, east I be taken, nor th imperious show. Of the full fortune Caesar, ewer shall. Be broached with me, if knife, drug is, serpent's haw. Edge, sting, or operation, I am safe. Your wife Octoya, with her modest eyes, and still conclusion, shall acquire no honor. Chapter 500, immuring thee upon me, but come, Antony. Help me, my women, we must draw thee VP. Assist, good friends. Aunt, oh quick or I am gone. Chapter 150, Eo, here's sport indeed. How hoey weighs my lord. Our strength is all gone into holiness. That makes the weight, had I great Euno's power. The strong-winged Mercury should fetch thee VP. And set thee by Io's side, yet come a little. Wishers were you are fools, oh come. They hoe Antony aloft to Cleopatra. And welcome, die when thou hast lewd. Quicken with kissing, had my lips that power. Thus would I wear them out. All, a hoey sight. Aunt, I am dying, Egypt's dying. Giu me some wine, and let me speak a little. Chapter 150, Eo, no, let me speak and let me rail so high, that the false huswife fortune break her wheel, provoked by my offense. Aunt, one word, sweet queen. Of Caesar seek your honor with your safety. Oh. Chapter 150, Eo, they do not go together. Aunt, gentle, hear me. None about Caesar trust, but Proculaus. Chapter 150, Eo, my resolution and my hands I'll trust. None about Caesar. Aunt, the miserable change now at my end. Chapter 50, aim at nor sorrow at, but please your thoughts. Chapter 1, and feeding them with those my former fortunes. Wherein I lewd, the greatest prince oath world. The noblest, and do now not basely die. Not cowardly put off my helmet too. Chapter 1000, why countryman, a Roman by a Roman. Chapter 5, alliantly vanquished, now my spirit is going. Chapter 1, can no more. Chapter 150, Eo, noblest of men woot die. Hast thou no care of me, shall I abide? Chapter 1, end this dull world, which in thy absence is no better than a sty, O see my women. The crown oath earth doth melt, my lord. O withered is the garland of the war. The soldier's pole is foulny, young boys and geels are loyal now with men, the odds is gone, and there is nothing left remarkable beneath the visiting moon. Chapter 100, Har, O quietness, lady. Chapter 1, Roz, she's dead too, our sour rainy. Chapter 100, Har, lady. Chapter 1, Roz, madam. Chapter 100, Har, O madam. Chapter 1, Roz, royal Egypt, empress. Chapter 100, Har, peace, eras. Chapter 150, Eo, no more but in a woman and commanded by such poor passion as the maid that milks and does the meanest chars. It were for me to throw my scepter at the injurious gods, to tell them that this world did equal theirs, till they had stalny arguel, all's but naught. Patience is sordish, and impatience does become a dog that's mad, then is it sin to rush into the secret house of death. Ere death dare come to versus, how do you women? What good cheer, why how now Charmian? Chapter 1000, why noble Giles? Ah women, look. Our lamp is spent, it's out. Good sirs, take heart. We'll bury him, and then what's what's noble? Chapter 50, et's do't after the high Roman fashion, and make death proud to take these come away. This case of that huge spirit now is cold. Ah women, come we ha no friend, but resolution, and the briefest end. Exeunt, bearing of Antony's body. Enter Caesar, Agrippa, Dolabella Minas, with his counsel of war. Chapter 100, Isar, go to him Dolabella, bid him yield. Being so frustrate, tell him. He mocks the pauses that he makes. Chapter 500, all, Caesar I shall Enter Decretas with the sword of Antony. Chapter 100. Eyes, wherefore is that, and what art thou that darst appear thus to verses? Chapter 500. Ec, I am called Decretas. Chapter 1000. Arch Antony I sarrowed, who best was worthy. Best to be sarrowed, whilst he stood VP and spoke. He was my master, and I wore my life to spend upon his haters, if thou please, to take me to thee, as I was to him. Chapter 49. E be to Caesar, if why pleasest not, I yield thee VP my life. Chapter 100. Esar, what is't thou say'st? Chapter 500. Ec, I say, O Caesar, Antony is dead. Chapter 100. Esar, the breaking of so great a thing should make a greater cracky, the round world. Should ha shook Leon into Sewell streets, and citizens to their dens, the death of Antony. Chapter 1. S not a single doom in the name lay, a moiety of the world. Chapter 500. Ec, he is dead Caesar, not by a public minister of Eustis, nor by a herd knife, but that self-hand, which writ his honor in the acts it did, hath with the courage which the heart did lend it, splitted the heart, this is his sword. Chapter 1. Robbed his wound of it, behold it stained with his most noble blood. Chapter 100. Eyes, look you sad friends. The gods rebuke me, but it is tidings to wash the eyes of kings. Chapter 500. All, and strange it is, that nature must compel verses to lament our most persisted deeds. Chapter 1000. Ec, his taints and honors wagged equal with him. Chapter 500. Ola, a rarer spirit newer. Chapter 999. Steer humanity, but you gods will you versus. Some faults to make versus men, Caesar is touched. Chapter 1000. Ec, when such a spacious mirror's set before him, he needs must see himself. Chapter 100. Esar, O Antony. Chapter 1. Ha followed thee to this, but we do launch. Chapter 501. Seizes in our bodies, I must perforce ha shewn to thee such a declining day. Or look on thine, we could not stall together. Chapter 1. End the whole world, but yet let me lament, with tears as sour rainy as the blood of hearts, that thou, my brother, my competitor. Chapter 1. End top of all Dezeen, my mate in empire, friend and companion in the front of war, the arm of mine own body, and the heart, where mine his thoughts did kindle, that are stars. Chapter 5. Irreconcilable should dewide our equalness to this. Hear me, good friends, but I will tell you at some meeter season. The business of this man looks out of him. We'll hear him what he says. Enter an Egyptian. Whence are you? Egypt, a poor Egyptian, yet the queen my mistress. Chapter 100. Enfant in all she has her monument of thy intents, desires instruction, that she preparedly may frame herself. Toth way she's forked too. Chapter 100. Esar, bid her ha good heart. She soon shall know of these, by some of ours, how honorable and how kindly we. Chapter 500. Ederman for her, for Caesar cannot low to be being gentle. Egypt, so the gods preserve thee. Enter. Chapter 100. Eyes, come hither, Proculaus, go and say, we purpose her no shame, you her what comforts the quality of her passion shall require. Chapter 50. East in her greatness by some mortal stroke, she do defeat these for her life in Rome, would be eternal in our triumph. Go, and with your speediest bring these what she says, and how you find of her. Pro Caesar I shall. Exit Proculaus. Chapter 100. Eyes, Gallus, go you along, where's Dolabella to second? Proculaus. All, Dolabella. Chapter 100. Eyes, let him alone, for I remember now how he's employed, he shall in time be ready. Go with me to my tent, where you shall see how hardly I was drawn into this war, how calmly and gentle I proceeded still. Chapter 1. And all my writings, go with me and see what I can show in this. Exeunt. Enter Cleopatra, Charmian, Eras, and Mardian. Chapter 150. Io, my desolation does begin to make a better life, 'tis paltry to be Caesar. Not being fortune, he's but fortune's gnaw. A minister of her will, and it is great to do that thing that ends all other deeds, which shackles excedence, and bolts VP change, which sleeps, and newer palates more the dung. The beggar's nurse, and Caesar's. Enter Proculaeus. Caesar sends greeting to the Queen of Egypt, and bids thee study on what fair demands thou mean'st to ha him grant thee. Chapter 150. Io, what's thy name? My name is Proculaeus. Chapter 150. Io, Antony. Chapter 999. Tell me of you, bade me trust you, but. Chapter 1. Do not greatly care to be deceived. That ha no VSE for trusting. If your master would ha a queen his beggar, you must tell him that majesty to keep decorum must no less beg than a kingdom, if he please. To Jew me conquered Egypt for my son. He Jews me so much of mine own, as I will kneel to him with thanks. Be of good cheer. Y'are foully into a princely hand, fear nothing. Chapter 1000. Ake your full reference freely to my lord, who is so full of grace, that it flows our. On all that need, let me report to him your sweet dependency, and you shall find a conqueror that will pray in eyed for kindness, where he for grace is kneeled too. Chapter 150. Io, pray you tell him. Chapter 1. Am his fortune's vassal, and I send him the greatness he has got, I hourly learn a doctrine of obedience, and would gladly. Chapter 50. Uk him I'th face. This I'll report, dear lady. Ha comfort, for I know your plight is pitted of him that cowsed it. You see how easily she may be surprised. Guard her till Caesar come. Chapter 1. Ra's royal queen. Chapter 100. Har, O Cleopatra, thou art taken queen. Chapter 150. Io, quick, good hands. Hold worthy lady, hold. Chapter 500. Owe not yourself such wrong who are in this relieved but not betrayed. Chapter 150. Io, what of death too that rids our dogs of languish? Cleopatra, do not abuse my master's bounty, by doing of yourself, let the world see his nobleness well acted, which your death will newer let come forth. Chapter 150. Io, where art thou, death? Chapter 100. Hither come, and take a queen, worth many babes and beggars. O temperance lady. Chapter 150. Io, sir, I will eat no meat, I'll not drink, sir. Chapter 1. If idle talk will once be necessary. Chapter 49. Not sleep neither, this mortal house I'll ruin. Chapter 500. O Caesar what he can, no sir, that I will not wait pinioned at your master's court, nor once be chastised with the sober eye of dull Octoya, shall they hoist me VP, and show me to the shoating varletary of censuring Rome, rather a ditch in Egypt. Be gentle Gravi and Tiomi, rather on Nilus mud. Chapter 50. I me stark knacked, and let the water flies blow me into abhorring, rather make. Chapter 1000. Why countries high pyramids my gibbet, and hang me VP in chains. You do extend these thoughts of horror further than you shall find cause in Caesar. Enter Dolabella. Chapter 500. All, Proculaeus, what thou hast done, thy master Caesar knows, and he hath sent for thee, for the queen. Chapter 49. Take her to my guard. prosodole bella. Chapter 1. Tea shall content me best, be gentle to her. To Caesar I will speak, what you shall please. Chapter 1. If you'll employ me to him. Exit Proculaeus. Chapter 150. Io, say I would die. Chapter 500. All, most noble empress, you ha heard of me. Chapter 150. Io, I cannot tell. Chapter 500. All, assuredly you know me. Chapter 150. Io, no matter, sir, what I ha heard or known. You laugh when boys or women tell their dreams. Chapter 1. S not your trick. Chapter 500. All, I understand not, madam. Chapter 150. Io, I dreamt there was an Emperor Antony. Oh, such another sleep, that I might see. But such another man. Chapter 500. All, if it might please ye. Chapter 150. Io, his face was as the hones and therein stuck. A sun and moon, which kept their course and lighted the little oath earth. Chapter 500. All, most sour rainy creature. Chapter 150. Io, his leg is bestrid the ocean, his reared arm. Chapter 100. Rested the world, his voice was propertied. As all the tuned spheres, and that to friends. But when he meant to quail, and shake the orb, he was as rattling thunder, for his bounty. There was no winter in't, and Antony it was. That grew the more by reaping, his delights were dolphin-like, they showed his baccy bow. The element they lewed in his leery. Walked crowns and crownets, realms and islands were as plates dropped from his pocket. Chapter 500. All, Cleopatra. Chapter 150. Io, think you there was or might be such a man as this I dreamt of? Chapter 500. All, gentle madam, no. Chapter 150. Io, you lie VP to the hearing of the gods. But if there be, not you were one such. Chapter 1. Teas past the size of dreaming, nature wants stuff to vie strange forms with fancy, yet tea, imagine. An Antony were nature's peace, gainst fancy. Chapter 100. Ondiming shadows quite. Chapter 500. All, hear me, good madam. Your loss is as yourself great, and you bear it. As answering to the weight, would I might newer. Or take pursued success, but I do feel, by the rebound of yours, a grief that sweets. Chapter 1000. Why very hard at root. Chapter 150. Io, I thank you, sir. Know you what Caesar means to do with me? Chapter 500. All, I am loath to tell you what I would you knew. Chapter 150. Io, nay pray you, sir. Chapter 500. All, though he be honorable. Chapter 150. Io, he'll lead me then in triumph. Chapter 500. All, madam he will, I note. Flourish. Enter Proculaeus, Caesar, Gallus, Maecenas, and others of his train. All, make way their Caesar. Chapter 100. Eyes which is the Queen of Egypt. Chapter 500. All, it is the Emperor madam. Chapter 150. Io, kneels. Chapter 100. Isar, arise, you shall not kneel. Chapter 1. Pray you rise, rise Egypt. Chapter 150. Io, sir, the gods will haw it thus. Chapter 1000. Why master and my lord I must obey. Chapter 100. Isar, take to you no hard thoughts. The record of what Aneares you did vise. Though written in our flesh, we shall remember, as things but done by chance. Chapter 150. Io, soul sir oath world. Chapter 1. Cannot project mine own cause so well. To make it clear, but do confess I haw Benny laden with like frailties, which before haw often shammed our sex. Chapter 100. Isar, Cleopatra no. We will extenuate rather than enforce. Chapter 1. If you apply yourself to our intents, which towards you are most gentle, you shall find a benefit in this change, but if you seek to lay on me a cruelty by taking Antony's course, you shall barrow yourself of my good purposes and put your children to that destruction which I'll guard them from. Chapter 1. If thereon you rely, I'll take my low. Chapter 150. Eo. And may through all the world tease yours and we your scutcheons, and your signs of conquest shall hang in what place you please. Hear my good lord. Chapter 100. Isar. You shall adduise me in all for Cleopatra. Chapter 150. Eo. This is the brief of money, plate, and Yules. Chapter 1. Impossist of tease exactly veiled. Not petty things admitted, were Seleucus. Selu, here madam. Chapter 150. Eo. This is my treasurer, let him speak, my lord. Chapter 5. Pon his peril that I ho resurrued. To myself nothing, speak the truth, Seleucus. Selu, madam, I had rather seal my lips than to my peril speak that which is not. Chapter 150. Eo. What ha I kept back ye? Sell, enough to purchase what you ha made known. Chapter 100. Isar. Nay, blush not, Cleopatra, I approw your wisdom in the deed. Chapter 150. Eo. See Caesar, oh behold how pomp is followed, mine will now be yours. And should we shift estates, yours would be mine. The ingratitude of this Seleucus does you and make me wilda, O slaw of no more trust. Then low that's heard, what goest thou back ye, why shalt go back ye, I warrant thee, but I'll catch thine eyes. Though they had wings, slaw soul less villain dog. O rarely base. Chapter 100. Isar. Good queen, let these entreat you. Chapter 150. Eo. O Caesar, what a wounding shame is this, that thou vouchsafing here to visit me. Chapter 500. Owing the honor of thy lordliness to one so meek, that mine own servant should parcel the sum of my disgraces, by addition of his anigh, say, good Caesar, that I some lady trifles ha resurrued. Chapter 1999. Omit toys, things of such dignity, as we greet modern friends withal, and say, some nobler token I ha kept apart, for Leuia and Octaia, to induce their mediation, must I be unfolded. With one that I ha bred, the gods, it smites me. Beneath the fall I ha, prithee go hence, or I shall show the cinders of my spirits. Through ashes of my chance, wert thou a man, thou wouldst ha mercy on me. Chapter 100. Isar. Forbear Seleucus. Chapter 150. Eo. Be it known that we the greatest are misthought for things that others do, and when we fall, we answer others' merits in our name, are therefore to be pitied. Chapter 100. Isar. Cleopatra. Not what you ha resurrued, nor what acknowledged. Put we a roll of conquest, still beat yours. Bestow it at your pleasure, and believe you. Chapter 100. Isar's no merchant to make prize with you of things that merchants sold, therefore be cheered. Chapter 1000. Ache not your thoughts your prisons, no dear queen, for we intend so to dispose you, as yourself shall you versus counsel, feed and sleep. Our care and pity is so much upon you, that we remain your friend, and so adieu. Chapter 150. Eo. My master and my lord. Chapter 100. Isar. Not so, adieu. Flourish, exeunt Caesar and his train. Chapter 150. Eo. He words me, Giles, he words me, that I should not be noble to myself, but hark thee, Charmian. Chapter 1. Roz, finish, good lady, the bright day is done, and we are for the dark. Chapter 150. Eo. High the again. Chapter 1. Ha spoke already, and it is pruited. Go put it to the haste. Chapter 100. Har, madam, I will. Enter Dolabella. Chapter 500. All, where's the queen? Chapter 100. Har, behold, sir. Chapter 150, Io, Dale Bella. Chapter 500, all, madam, as thereto sworn by your command, which my law makes religion to obey. Chapter 1, tell you this, Caesar through Syria. Chapter 1, tends his nigh, and within 3 days. You with your children will he send before. Chapter 1000, ake your best VSC of this, I ha performed. Your pleasure, and my promise. Chapter 150, Io, Dale Bella, I shall remain your debtor. Chapter 500, all, I your servant. Adieu, good queen, I must attend on Caesar. Exit. Chapter 150, Io, farewell and thanks. Now Eras, what think'st thou? Thou, an Egyptian puppet shall be shewn. Chapter 1, en Rome as well as I, mechanics laws. With greasy aprons, rules and hammers shall. Chapter 5, plift verses to the view, in their thick breeds. Rank of gross dight, shall we be enclouded, and forked to drink their vapor. Chapter 1, Ras, the gods forbid. Chapter 150, Io, nay, 'tis most certain Eras, saucy lictors, will catch at verses like strumpets, and scald rhymers. Ballads versus out of tune, the quick comedians. Extemporally will stage V's, and present. Our Alexandrian rules, Antony, shall be brought drunken forth, and I shall see some squeaking Cleopatra boy my greatness. Chapter 1, th posture of a whore. Chapter 1, Ras, O the good gods. Chapter 150, Io, nay that's certain. Chapter 1, Ras, I'll newer seat, for I am sure mine nails are stronger than mine eyes. Chapter 150, Io, why that's the way to fool their preparation, and to conquer their most absurd intents. Enter Charmian. Now Charmian, show me my women like a queen, go fetch. Chapter 1000, why best attires, I am agging for Sidrus. To meet Mark Antony, Sura Eras, go. Now noble Charmian, we'll dispatch indeed. And when thou hast done this chair, I'll gee thee low. To play till doomsday, bring our crown and all. A noise within. Wherefore's this noise? Enter a guardsman. Guards, here is a rural fellow. That will not be dened your highness' presence. He brings you figas. Chapter 150, Io, let him come in. Exit guardsman. What poor an instrument. Chapter 1000, I do a noble deed, he brings me liberty. Chapter 1000, why resolutions placked and I haw nothing of woman in me, now from head to foot. Chapter 1, a marble constant, now the fleeting moon. No planet is of mine. Enter guardsman and clown. Guards, this is the man. Chapter 150, Io, awed and low him. Exit guardsman. Hast thou the pretty worm of Nilus there, that kills and pains not? Clow, truly I haw him, but I would not be the party that should desire you to touch him, for his biting is immortal. Those that do die of it, do seldom or newer recower. Chapter 150, Io, rememberst thou any that haw died on't? Clow, very many men and women too. I heard of one of them no longer than yesterday, a very honest woman, but something genuine to lie, as a woman should not do. But in the way of honesty, how she died of the biting of it, what pain she felt. Truly, she makes a very good report, oth worm. But he that will believe you all that they say, shall newer be sawed by half that they do. But this is most fallible, the worm's an odd worm. Chapter 150, Io, get thee hence, farewell. Chapter 150, Ow, I wish you all eye of the worm. Chapter 150, Io, farewell. Chapter 150, Ow, you must think this, look you, that the worm will do his kind. Chapter 150, Io, I farewell. Chapter 150, Ow, look you, the worm is not to be trusted, but in the keeping of wise people, for indeed there is no goodness in the worm. Chapter 150. Io, take thou no care, it shall be heeded. Chapter 150. Ow, very good. Eat nothing, I pray you, for it is not worth the feeding. Chapter 150. Io, will it eat me? Clow, you must not think I am so simple, but I know the deil himself will not eat a woman. I know that a woman is a dish for the gods if the deil dress her not. But truly, these same whoreson deils do the gods great harm in their women. For in ewery 10 that they make, the deils mar few. Chapter 150. Io, well, get thee gone, farewell. Chapter 150. Ow, yes, forsooth, I wish you I oth worm. Exit. Chapter 150. Io, giu me my robe, put on my crown, I haw. Chapter 1999. Ortal longings in me, now no more. The ice of Egypt's grape shall moist this lip. Yare, good eras, quick, methinks I hear Antony call, I see him rose himself. To praise my noble act, I hear him mock the luck of Caesar, which the gods giu men. To excuse their after wrath, husband I come. Now to that name, my courage prow my title. Chapter 1. Fire and air, my other elements. Chapter 1. Giu to baser life, so ha you done. Chapter 100. Then, and take the last warmth of my lips. Farewell, kind Charmian, eras, long farewell. Hare the aspic in my lips, dust fall. Chapter 1. If thou and nature can so gently part, the stroke of death is as a lower's pinch, which hurts and is desired, dost thou lie still. Chapter 1. If thus thou vanishest, thou tells te the world. Chapter 1. Tea is not worth low taking. Chapter 100. Har, dissolu thick cloud and rain that I may say, the gods themselves do weep. Chapter 150. Io, this prows me base. Chapter 1. If she first meet the curled Antony, he'll make demand of her, and spend that kiss. Which is my hoen to ha, come thou mortal wretch. With thy sharp teeth, this not intrinsicate. Of life at once vienti, poor venomous fool. Be angry and dispatch, O couldst thou speak, that I might hear thee call great Caesar a vien policied. Chapter 100. Har, O eastern star. Chapter 150. Io, peace, peace. Chapter 500. Ost thou not see my baby at my breast? That sucks the nurse asleep. Chapter 100. Har, O break, O break. Chapter 150. Io, as sweet as balmy, as soft as air, as gentle. O Antony, nay, I will take thee too. What should I stay? Chapter 500. Yes. Chapter 100. Har, in this wilde world, so fare thee well. Now boast thee death, in thy possession lies. Alas, vie unparalleled, downy windows close, and golden Phoebus, ne'er be beheld. Of eyes agin so royal, your crown's away. Chapter 49. Mend it and then play. Enter the guard rustling in, and Dale Bella. One guard, where's the queen? Chapter 100. Har, speak softly, wake her not. One Caesar hath sent. Chapter 100. Har, too slow a messenger. O come apace, dispatch, I partly feel thee. One approach hoa. All's not well. Caesar's begoo, there's Dale Bella sent from Caesar. Call H, what work is here, Charmian? Chapter 1. This well done. Chapter 100. Har, it is well done and fitting for a princess. Chapter 500. Ended of so many royal kings. Ah, soldier. Chapter 100. Harmian dies. Enter Dale Bella. Chapter 500. All, how goes it here? Two guard, all dead. Chapter 500. All, Caesar, thy thoughts. Touch their effects in this, thyself art calming. To see perform the dreaded act which thou so sought'st to hinder. Enter Caesar and all his train, marching. All, away there, away for Caesar. Chapter 500. All, O sir, you are too sure an augurer. That you did fear is done. Chapter 100. Isar, broised at the last. She luelled at our purposes, and being royal, took her own way, the manner of their deaths. Chapter 1, do not see them bleed. Chapter 500, all, who was last with them. One guard, a simple countryman that brought here figs. This was his basket. Chapter 100, Isar, poisoned then. One guard, O Caesar. This Charmian lewd but now, she stood and spake. Chapter 1, found her trimming VP the diadem. On her dead mistress tremblingly she stood, and on the sodding dropped. Chapter 100, Isar, O noble weakeness. Chapter 1, if they had swallowed poison, 'twould appear by external swelling, but she looks like sleep, as she would catch another Antony. Chapter 1, and her strong toil of grace. Chapter 500, all, here on her breast. There is a vent of bloud, and something blown. The like is on her arm. One guard, this is an aspic's trail, and these fig lows ha slime vpon them, such as aspic lows vpon the cause of Nile. Chapter 100, Isar, most probable. That so she died, for her physician tells me. She hath pursued conclusions infinite. Of easy ways to die, take VP her bed, and bear her women from the monument. She shall be buried by her Antony. No grave upon the earth shall clip in it. A pair so famous, high uants as these, strike those that make them, and their story is no less in pity than his glory which brought them to be lamented, our army shall. Chapter 1, in solemnity show, attend this funeral. And then to Rome, come dalle bella see. High order, in this great solemnity. Exeunt, omnes. Venus,